doing, sir? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Alrighty, let us get everything up and ready to go.
โอ้วันนี้ก็เราดูครับ
Yeah, hope you're doing good, Bam. What's up, Drop? How you doing? How you doing?
ที่ E District นะครับ
Hopefully y'all are doing good.
จะออกมาในรูปแบบไหน
Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the 12 months as well, Bam.
เกมแรกก็ใกล้จะเริ่มแล้วนะครับ
Much appreciated.
เดี๋ยวเรากลับเข้าสู่หน้าเกมที่ 1 กันดีกว่าครับผู้ชมครับสักครู่เดียว
We are live and back with the watch parties after quite a while. It has definitely been a minute since we were here, but we are attempting to lock back in and be ready to go. Things will be a little different tonight because, unfortunately, the boys over at Battlegrounds are dealing with a little bit at the moment. You said what now? Sorry, can you turn up microphone volume a little bit? I think mine is maxed right now, to be honest.
มาครับเข้าสู่เกมที่ 1 ของเรากันดีกว่านะครับสำหรับวันนี้นะ
Let me double check. I also could just be like sitting a lot closer to it too than I am.
ใกล้จะเริ่ม
So I'm definitely not very close.
ว่าเป็นอย่างไรในเกมแรกตรงนี้เข้าสู่เกมกันครับ มาครับเข้าสู่เกมการแข่งขันในเกม
I'm
แรก
deaf.
นะครับ
That's tragic. That's tragic.
เป็นอย่างไรครับ
But yeah, we were hopping straight into the games. I was trying to wait to see if Battleground was gonna go live, but it looks like they're not going to just because of them battling some stuff over there. So can you guys like not hear me at all? That's so weird.
ชัดขนาดนั้นนะครับโดยเฉพาะในนั้นตัวของช่วงเฟสแรกนะครับหรือว่า2 เกมแรกนะที่ต้องบอกเลยว่าก็ยังคงเป็นตัวคริปโตนะนี่สแกนครับมาวอกเช็คก่อนเลยครับ
I got you. Yeah, it's weird because usually I'm like peeking out like all the time.
ลงมาทางด้านล่างนะครับกลางไปเลยครับไม่ได้ซ้ายขวานะต้องรอดูครับว่าจะเป็นอย่างไรครับเกมนี้
I'll try to see what I can mess around with to see if I can have you guys hear me a little bit better.
ตัวของอารามนะดูว่าพวกเขาจะขยับขึ้นมาหรือเปล่าครับตอนนี้ต้องบอกเลยว่าโซนของทางด้านตัว Apac South เนี่ยน่าจะเป็นโซนที่คะแนนเนี่ยไล่เลี่ยกันที่สุดแล้วนะครับ
But while I'm working on that, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys have been good while we've been away from Apex for a bit. How's everybody been?
ฟอร์มหายไปยาวเหมือนกันนะครับสำหรับตรงแบคคอร์หรือว่าจะ
Hopefully everybody's good on YouTube as well. Hopefully you guys are good.
ทุกทีมเนี่ยเข้าสู่ช่วงเฟสสุดท้ายแล้วนะครับก็คือเหลืออีกทีมละ2 รอบการแข่งขันนะที่ต้องเล่นครับแล้วก็พอสรุปผลมาปุ๊บเนี่ยทีมที่มีคะแนนสูงสุด20 อันดับแรกนะครับจะได้ไปแข่งขันต่อในสัปดาห์สุดท้ายนะครั
Ranked has been ranked. It's
โซนของเราเองครับที่เราคุ้นเคยกันดีนะกับการ
yeah, it definitely I just kind of haven't liked some of the stuff that they're getting ready to do, so I don't know if that's like. I don't know if that's really maybe like ruined my mood potentially. I don't really know, but I mean overall though, I think the games have been pretty good for the most part. Me, Typhic, and Connor had some pretty decent games the other day.
เคลียร์โดนทิ้งไปก่อนนะนั่นตรงฮาวอกครับ
That's for sure.
แบงค์
So
แชทมาครับ
can't be too upset. Assuming these boys, yeah, they're not gonna go live at all.
อยากพ่วงกันไปนะตอนนี้20ทีมยังอยู่กัน
But no, overall it's been pretty good though, man.
ไปเสียชีวิตออกไปนะในช่วงต้นเกมครับวงแรกบีบตรงนี้2นาที
Yeah, I'll probably bring it up on the next episode of the pod, but yeah, I'll never understand the forced solo queue thing in my opinion. I don't think it's very good, to be quite honest with you. It doesn't make much sense to me at all.
UL ครับอันดับที่2ในตอนนี้นะหรือว่าเส้นทางสดใสครับ2สัปดาห์ถ้าไม่พลาดเลยก็เตรียมล็อกอินได้เลยฮะสำหรับตัวของ Regional Final นะ UL ครับทีมออคิดครับ
Like, I get, like, the reasons behind it, and at the end of the day, it's just gonna be what it is, but I just think that, like, one, it's not gonna change much of anything, because the system is still shit.
มีการเปลี่ยนแปลง ไลน์อัพผู้เล่นด้วยนะครับจากการโยกย้าย
The system is still shit, so people are still gonna run at each other, and I think it's gonna be even worse, because now you're gonna have randoms running at each other, and it's just, like, not gonna be very coordinated. Like, you'll get very lucky if you'll get teammates at least a couple times a fucking session that'll actually play the game the way it should be played as a team. Because, like, people think people just gonna instantly lock in, and, like, they're not going to. Like, the majority of people are still gonna play like fucking idiots. I just think that, like, solos should get, like, or lesser, like, entry cost, and not be as punishing for when they enter a game and still allow 3 stacks to take place. Or if they are going to do this forced solo queue thing, I just think it should be at the Masters level and above. But yeah, I'm personally just, like, not a big fan by any means, because I just think, again, like, ranked in, like, a game like Apex and a BR, like, should be about teamwork and should allow you to team with your friends and stuff. But I just, yeah, I don't think the player base would be that great either. Oh, Q. I 100% will say about 90% of the people that I play with are better than me, and I will 100% say I get carried. I bring the call to rotate and where to play on the map and where his ring is going and shit like that. But in terms of damage and shit, my ass is getting hard carried. I'll admit it. I ain't afraid to admit that. There's a reason why I'm on a podcast at fucking 33, bro. That's why I'm not fucking in the game or coaching or anything like that. Probably the first to admit that shit. But no, I just, again, like, I think of the day, like, just forcing people to play a certain, like, way just for solo killers to feel better about themselves. I think it just kind of pisses me off a little bit, I won't lie. But it is what it is. And I feel like most people solo queuing wise aren't really, like, that worried about it, but don't understand why they took away the Apac South broadcast. Saint, I don't either, to be quite honest. I don't either. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm appreciative of the Battlegrounds boys for stepping in and doing something at least, but yeah, it definitely pissed me off when they took that away, for sure. It didn't make much sense to me at all. Did not make much sense to me at all. I'm not good enough to worry about forced solo queue. I feel that. I feel that.
PDG มาที่นักตงฟิสิกส์บ้างครับขยับไหลมาที่ทางโชกไกลนะเจอด้านหน้าได้
But yeah, locking in the games here though a little bit. Again, Apac South, Matchday number 7. Again, starting the last round of rotation for all the teams playing each other in the round robin. We've got obviously the slight change with the meta, with Axel now being a character that can be picked and selected. We've seen some teams definitely trying her out in scrims and seeing how they feel about it. Gen G, no surprise, one of the teams that's running it for sure. So yeah, definitely love to see it from a team like Gen G trying out Axel, because I think it definitely could be something that works. The Conduit I'm still very skeptical of, but we'll have to wait and see. Yo, Storm, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad I can at least be an option for people, because I know obviously Wig's doing, isn't really able to do double blocks on the weekend, and unfortunately Battlegrounds obviously running into some issues tonight, just with the game and stuff like that. So that's really unfortunate, but yeah, glad I could be here for you, man. And welcome in also. Appreciate you being here. Heard of Bound in Halo? No, I haven't dropped. So my gaming history, for like those who don't know, like I very much did not game for the longest time when I was younger, and when I did, it was definitely sports games. I missed out like on all the Call of Duty, the Halo, like anything basically gaming wise. I had nothing to do with. Like Apex is truly the first game that like I've actually like grinded and gotten into. Oh yeah, I did see Wig say he had the anime stuff, or the anime awards thing tonight, so that makes sense. Yeah, that'll be cool to have Wig doing his thing. That's awesome to see. 20% away from giving it a try. Hey, Stoney, like I said, I don't blame you whether you decide to give it a try or you don't give it a try at this point. I don't blame you one bit. I will say, in terms of the game, shout out to Apac South for at least locking in this first game. 19 squads up. Ring 3 closing in about a minute here. Obviously, Humbert Lab Zone will do that for you, but... What's up, Emma? How you doing?
ดูว่าจะทำยังไงครับแล้วเช็คมาแบบนี้เจอแล้วครับมีคนเดียวหรือต้องระวังครับไม่งั้นจะโดนพิกออฟแน่
Yeah, there you go. There's the Discord to join for the Apex.
ยังไงครับเข้าไปก็ได้เล่นแน่
That would be the one to join. I don't have my own personal Discord, so definitely feel free to join the Apex podcast one. Yeah, Storm, I'm boys with Stoney and Q. We'll hopefully finally get a chance to meet out in Vegas. That's the plan. So, but those boys are the goats, and appreciate them being in here for sure. ยามจ่ายไฟไปครับมีโดรนเช็คมาเรื่อยๆนะโซโย่เพื่อนเองก็เซตอยู่ไกลแล้วกูซี่พยายามจะหามุมช่วยอยู่นะเคนก็เซตโดรนไว้ครับต้องดูครับรันในตรงนี้จะเป็นอย่างไรครับแต่ว่าแบร์ฟรอยเหมือนจะโดนเก็บไปแล้วครับแล้วเมโทรไปได้นะตกเซกโตมาด้วยครับมาครับกำลังมีปัญหาหรือเปล่าครับตรงนี้โดนไฟมาแล้วโดนเนตมาด้วยครับเอเชียขยับเข้ามาครับได้ไป1กันแล้ว Yeah, hopefully the boys will be back tomorrow. I think that's their plan, is to be back at it tomorrow and when things are working and stuff. So if they're not back tonight, so definitely be on the lookout for those boys, because I will not be streaming tomorrow. I won't be streaming APAC North tonight either. I've got a wedding I'll be at tomorrow. I'll be back on Sunday to watch the games. I won't be streaming, but we will definitely we'll definitely be locking in as much as I can when it comes to all the games and stuff and staying caught up this weekend. You see Gen G here in a big fight. Good knock here by Asia. The conduit really coming into play here.
เข้ามาเพิ่มอีกหนึ่งครับเป็นทีมพียัดเข้ามาออกได้หรือเปล่าตรงนี้เอเชียต้องถอยมาก่อนครับเวนิโน่แกขยับมาแล้วครับ
Some decent KP there for the boys over at Gen G. Down to a top 16 here. Watch party from the wedding? Yeah, I don't think that'll be be an option, unfortunately. What time is Apac North on tonight? So I think it's like 4.5 hours from now. I want to say it was like 4 a.m. Central Time is when it was supposed to start. So yeah, basically like 4.5 hours from now, I believe, is when Apac North is supposed to start. Yeah, every region storm is doing double blocks this weekend. So Apac South and Apac North will have a block, tonight. In terms of like US viewing, and then we'll have EMEA and America is essentially during the day tomorrow, and then late tomorrow into Sunday morning will be the second block for all the APAC region. So you see your Dexter going insane right now. Oh my god, Dexter, go nuts. Dexter, go nuts. Oh, he's got to rotate in though. This stuff. Big 1v1 here. And the conduit able to queue up and get the 1v1 win. Gen G absolutely wrecking havoc on the edge of zone here. Yeah, Storm, when I know in WIG and Greek, when there's like double block weekends, they usually just stick to EMEA in the Americas. Obviously, WIG also has the Gaming Awards tonight too that he's doing. But I know usually they when it's the double block weekends, they try to stick to just the EMEA and Americas regions just because of trying to get some sort of sleep. So yeah, you're stuck with me tonight, but yeah, like I said, I think they'll be rocking with stuff later this weekend. Yeah, potentially Wig could do the second blocks maybe. We'll see if he's able to lock in for that. I know he's been grinding all the watch parties though. He was watching the CDL. When Thieves won this past LAN, he was watching Valorant. He's been watching, I think Rainbow even maybe. I can't remember what else he's been watching, but he's been on everything. Yeah, I appreciate it, Storm. Appreciate you being here. Like I said, W support for you guys for real here and over on the YouTube. I know it's been a while since I've been live, so I appreciate all of you guys for being here. I mean, there's really over 50 of you guys between YouTube and Twitch, so shout out to you guys for that. Yeah, 7 squads here. Everything pulled out away from Humbert, so you can definitely tell that's where all the teams started collapse and died there as they came in. SAUL, though, who's been playing pretty solid this split, like we would expect them to. Looking like they're in a decent spot. They may have to slowly rotate up, but we'll have to wait and see. Bam, I need to get on it, man. I don't know. I've just been so, like, unlocked. I should have got so much more done over these past couple weeks, and I just did not. So, I'll definitely have to get on watching Free Rent at some point. Some really good shots here by SAUL. They're going to have a team down below that they're going to have to clear out. But my god, Jesco with the absolute beams. Looks like Orchid getting some kills onto Havoc. Eliminating them, but now they're getting pushed. But it looks like they're actually able to get the wipe on RRQ as well, so we get down to a top 4 situation here. Started my 4-day weekend. Love that drop. Love to hear that for you. I get Monday off, but I work today and I work Tuesday, so will not be there for the 4-day.
แต่มีแก๊สขวางไว้แล้วขึ้นกำแพงมาเจอลูดหัวมาเรียบร้อย
For sure, drop. No, I guess I appreciate all y'all being here.
ยัดมาอย่างไงดีเข้าไปพีคต่อแต่ว่ามีโล่อยู่แล้วโดนแก๊สมันแรงเหลือเกินครับเฟงชุน
2C1, I'm getting absolutely chunked here. They've got to hurry up and finish this fight or back the hell up. Yeah, they're getting absolutely ripped. Orchid is having a banger of a game right now. Just 8 kills alone when it comes to... Or 8 KP when it comes to, I believe, Noel Sang. Just by himself. Oh, there you go, drop. Love that.
เกมแรกของเราครับ HL 3 คนครบครับด้านบนมีอยู่1รวม
Infinite L-Star Craver? Yeah, that's disgusting. It truly is.
พื้นที่เข้ามาแล้วครับตรงตัวเอสพยายามจ่าย
Yo, Stone Fox, what's going on?
เรื่อยๆนะครับ
How we doing? Hope you're doing well, man.
ค่อยๆกินพื้นที่เข้าไปครับแล้วมี
Remind me, I'm going to reply back to you eventually or reply to you because I started your latest video and did not get a chance to finish it because I got into a work thing. But I'm going to finish that video. Make sure to leave a comment and a like because your stuff's always a banger.
ว่าจะเป็นใครครับระหว่าง SHL กับทางด้านตัวของออคิดกับเจสโกโดนไป1ตีครับเลือดตรงนี้ต้องปั๊มก่อนเลยครับโดนเจาะทะลุมาเกือบไปครับเจสโกกลับมาได้ EMP โถมยัดมาก็จ่ายแก๊สขวางไว้เลยมาดันเข้ามาไม่ได้เหมือนกันนะตรงนี้พยายามจะยิงใส่แล้วเรียบร้อย
There goes the solo. So now we should have a 3v3 here. SAUL and Orchid here. My god, yeah, I'll start doing some work, but now we're doing 2v2. Oh, that's 2v1. And SAUL absolutely picking up where they left off before we took the break. Getting the game 1 dub. You absolutely love to see it from the boys over at SAUL. Game number 1. SAUL there in should be first place once the leaderboard fully updates. Yeah, let me see if that'll fully update. Give me 1 second. There we go. Now it's fully updated. We have got... Why did that reset? Come on. Team stream has been a little wonky, or the multi-view has been a little wonky since I started, so I don't know why it went back to the beginning of... Hello? Why is it back on this screen? Is that just what happens in his stream all the time? Am I not used to this? Because why is it back here? Maybe it does. Yeah, I guess it does, maybe just in between games. Huh. Must be something I have to get used to for tonight. But, that was game number 1. SAUL taking the first place there with 21 points. We got second place there with Orchid with 18. Very solid game for them. Titan Esports there in third with 8. RQ there in 5th with 2C1M there in 4th with 10. Havoc also picking up 10 there in 6th place as well. Yeah, Drop, I think that's just how he does it, or how this stream is, because, yeah, I see, like, it's highlighted on match 2. So, yeah, I just think that's just how it looks. So, we'll just roll with it, and we'll be all good, so. But, yeah, that was game number 1. Very solid start there. Taking a look at the overall standings after that, obviously, SAUL will jump into first place overall if things hold where they are, just having had the extra match day comparative to Wolves or PXX. But we've got Team Orchid, obviously needing a pretty big day to feel comfortable at where they're at. They jump up pretty high as well, so we can kind of see where these standings are at currently, but obviously that's just only game number 1, so no real need to worry about that. Some stuff that we can definitely take a look at here, because I know we didn't really get a chance to really fully get into all the action. So, yeah, VK in 7th, not too bad for where they're at right now. Again, I believe they were in like some of the top spots though coming into today. So they'll definitely look to bounce back after I think kind of a rough game 1. Yeah, they only got 14th down there. So yeah, but again, VK has been playing really well this split, so I can imagine that we'll we'll see the better version of them here moving forward. But yeah, taking a look though at stuff like our POI draft and everything. We've got E-District and we got Olympus tonight. That'll be the maps you guys will see throughout the entire weekend for the first set of games. Obviously, we'll see some different maps for when things start back up with Apac South tomorrow night. But at least for this first set, the first 4 match days that you'll see across all the regions, you'll get E-District followed by Olympus. So again, looking at our E-District POIs, some of our bigger names that we've got here. You know, we've got a team like Weibo Gaming over there at Draft Point, RRQ over at Stadium, VK over at Galleria, SAUL over at Energy Bank, which Energy Bank, I don't really like that much of a POI just because it's so much to loot and so many teams can fast rotate into your POI and kind of throw off your game plan. But I do think a team like SAUL, who does rotate really well, gets themselves into really good game-winning positions a lot of the time. I do think they're a team that can make that work. Other teams you'll see like Genji, not surprised, going for the Boardwalk POI. Not big a surprise there either. So how do they choose maps for ALGS Pro League? I believe when they choose the maps in terms of like when they'll be played, I do think it's sort of randomly generated, probably what days they'll play certain maps. In terms of the maps that they pick, like for the entire split, I don't really know how that's decided. I believe they pulled World's Edge out for now, just because it's being worked on for an update, I believe, later on. But yeah, I think they just kind of look at the maps and they kind of rotate stuff in here or there. Again, I think Stormpoint and like E-District always will stick around just because they're kind of staples of the comp maps. But yeah, I think they just kind of start at the beginning of each split and kind of just go through and see which ones they want to put in. Since they just updated Olympus, that's my guess as to why they had it in the map rotation. Trying to keep that map in there since they just kind of put in some work into it. But we'll in terms of the overall decision though, that's just kind of some stuff they do in the back end. So yeah, nothing too detailed as to why that kind of is the way it is for the most part. Yo, Phantom, been a while. How you doing? I appreciate the 4-month sub. Much appreciated. Hopefully you're doing well. It's been a while. It has been a while. When we turn the lights back off on Storm, you are telling me. I wish so much that they would freaking go back to the night E-District, because I just think it looks so good. I think it's so much different than any other map that they have. You got the nighttime, you've got kind of the outdoors with Stormpoint and the way that it's set up. You got obviously the Olympus stuff where it's kind of the futuristic vibe. You've got World's Edge, obviously the classic Apex vibe. So like, I don't understand why they don't just keep nighttime E-District. I think it looks so good. How come the Challenger Circuit and Pro League overlap? Is that normal? Kind of new? Yeah, so essentially why they do overlap is because Challenger Circuit will feed into Pro League. So at the beginning of the season, they will do PSQs, which is the preseason qualifiers, which will get teams that weren't invited to Pro League. There'll be 8 spots up for grabs for teams to qualify into. And then after that, usually the rest of the teams will then go compete in Challenger Circuit. And the reason why competing in Challenger Circuit is so important is because the teams with the top points, usually throughout the Challenger Circuits, will then either get invited potentially to the next Pro League, or they'll get better seeding when it comes to qualifying to Pro League for the next split. So that's why they do it at the same time, because in that way they can kind of feed those qualifiers directly into the next splits of Pro League as they come up. So that's essentially why they do that the way it is done. Oh, I can imagine how busy you've been with all that Phantom for sure.
21 คะแนนนะครับโดยมีออคิดนะครับ
Always
ที่
down for some pro league. Love to
นะ
see it. Love to see it. Drop. Thank
ที่
you.
เรารู้กันไป
Make
ค
sure
รับ
you guys, if you wanted some updates on
ต้อ
the
งบอกเลย
scores,
ว่า
hitting exclamation
คริปโต
point
ถือ
now.
ว่าเป็นหนึ่งใน
That
เอ
will
เจน
give
ต์
you,
ที่
or
ทร
exclamation
งพลั
point
งนะ
score,
ไม่ว่าจะ
excuse
เป็
me.
นเรื่องการ
That'll
หา
give
ข้
you
อมูล
guys
ครับ
the
จาก
the
ทางฝั่ง
updates
เสา
in terms of the
หรือ
overall
ว่า
leaderboard.
ตัว
Obviously, I'll try to flash it on screen
ที่ใช้ใน
here
กา
as
ร
well,
หา
but that'll at least give you an idea. Why does this
ตัว
keep
ที่
doing that in
ให้
terms
โฟ
of the
กับทีมได้
in terms
เย
of
อะนะครับ
pausing and stuff like that?
ทีมพีเองก็
It's weird.
เล่นในตัวของทีม
Imagine
ไทยได้
turn the
ด้วย
lights
ครับ
on World.
ไม่แปลกเลยที่
Yeah, I feel that, Storm. I 100% feel that. Again, it just does not make much sense to me
ดูครับ
either.
ว่าจะเป็นอย่างไรครับในเกมที่ 2 ตรงนี้ครับ
Sounds good, Stone Fox. I will not be because I will be attending a wedding. But I appreciate you being in here regardless. So thank you very, very much.
ไม่ได้จับคู่กับนักตัวคริปโตก็น่า
Hey,
จะ
take care.
ไม่ได้หยิบพิกมาแล้วครับ เพราะว่าถือว่าเป็นตัวละครที่ดรอปไปสมควรนะ ถ้าเกิดจะใช้กับนักตัวของคริปโตในการหลบ EMP หรือว่าการเข้าทำอะไรครับ
Yo, Bay, how we doing? Thank God ALGS is back. 100%. I feel you on that. I felt like I've been so out of the loop when it comes to ALGS because I had to take a break during those couple weeks. I got out and golfed a lot more and just kind of touched grass a lot more over the past few weeks because we're so locked in when it comes to the pod, when it comes to me watching scrims, things like that. It was just nice to kind of get away from my PC.
ได้เลยครับ ไม่ได้ออกมาให้เห็นบ่อยๆฮะสำหรับวงตรงกลางแบบนี้ครับ
Oh, baby, you watch COD too? Hell yeah. I just got into the CDL at the end of last year, and now I'm obsessed with it this year.
หรือเปล่าครับโอ้ออคิดนะเหมือนจะ
Oh, that's tragic.
เข้าไปทักทายเฉยๆกันแล้วเนี่ยมี
No, I was just saying I'm very glad that ALGS is back as well. Again, I took a much-needed mental break just from watching the scrims as much as I do, taking all the notes that I typically do, and things like that. So I definitely needed a break, to say the least.
แล้วไปน็อกอีกครั้งหนึ่งครับกษัตริย์เช็คลงมาด้านล่าง
But yeah, I was also just saying I really enjoy the CDL. I've been watching a lot of COD lately. I'm an Optic fan, just because I came at the same time, kind of like Mercury started popping off and stuff last year. But I'm gonna really need them to win a freaking tourney because that's just starting to piss me off. Hope Genji starts cooking now with these aggressive comps. Yeah, Genji has been a little bit underwhelming, to say the least. I do think with adding Axel, they could definitely maybe get into a little bit more of a groove. But I just do think too, like right now, like playing Edge is just so tough. Just because they're not the only ones fighting on Edge anymore. Like there's a bunch of other teams that want to play aggressive, and we just don't have as much space to take the fights you want to take. It just makes things a lot more difficult. So Sleepy for the Americas region. That's at 5 p.m. Central Time tomorrow and 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. I won't be personally streaming those. Jayhawk should be live, I believe, for both. So make sure you guys go check out Jayhawk's stream when he does that. But yeah, I will be watching, but I won't be live because I'll be at a wedding tomorrow, and then I usually don't stream during the Americas regions just because I usually like to hang out in Jay's chat. So honestly, Bam, not even mad because I really enjoy the Thieves roster. I think Niam's story is sick. Really have enjoyed seeing how well he's played, and just how well he played overall. Again, I hate it was against Optic, but like it was awesome to see him pop off. Seeing Scrap is always a great time. He's always jokes. And then Abizi and Hydra are just some of the best players I've obviously been around COD for quite some time. So again, good to kind of see them get their moments and stuff too. So again, I still think Optic is just trolling in finals for whatever reason and just can't make good decisions. But you know, hopefully they'll lock back in. To say the least. Bro, why is my... I think it's just multi-view, bro. That's so weird, because I've not had issues with Twitch all day.
ไปซี่โดนซ้ำไปก่อนนะตรงนี้ทูซีมจะเข้ามาแจมอีกหนึ่งแล้วโดนไปแรงต้องถอยครับจีก๊อตเล่นต่อไม่ได้ครับแล้วดูพีจีแจมจากไกลๆนู่นเลยฮะ
Yo, what's up, Future? How you doing?
เหมือนจะไม่ปล่อยด้วยครับแบบนี้เล่นลำบากครับแล้วเบโน่ไม่เอาครับตรงนี้ถอยดีกว่า
I don't think Jumbo's streaming Future. I'm not 100% sure, but like I know he's been pretty busy lately. But I don't think he is.
กลับมาที่มาม่าครับอีกครั้งหนึ่งครับ
But good to hear from you, Future. Hopefully you're doing well too.
เหมือนกันครับ
You guys have been killing it.
นี่ฮะโดนทีจากด้านหลังถือว่าสงบสุขแต่ยังไม่สุดการเลคิวเต้เกือบล้มมาไททันดีสปอร์ตครับด้านล่างตรงนี้ยังไง
I'll check to see if Battlegrounds is live. No, they're not. So they had some tech issues going on. So they will not be streaming, at least as of right now. They hopefully will eventually. But yeah, they are not streaming, at least as of right now, unfortunately. So this is the other POV that allows us to get into like the main kind of broadcast feel. So that's just why I'm watching it. But yeah, unfortunately, Battlegrounds is not live, at least for now. I think they're still gonna try to hopefully be live. Which I don't know if Q or Stoney are in chat at all right now, but at least as of right now, they will not be. I think they should hopefully be back tomorrow. It was just something I think with Stoney's game, like Apex was being dumb. I appreciate that, Carl. Thank you. I'm glad I've been able to fill in at least tonight for a lot of people, because it seems like obviously with Wig not streaming and with Battlegrounds not being there, I'm glad I at least can fill the gap at least for tonight. So appreciate you guys being here. Omar, what's up? So that was just for why we didn't do voicemails this episode was purely just because Wyatt being on the road, and he was literally getting ready to go out in Nashville right after we got done recording. So voicemails will come back. That was just kind of an episode because we wanted to at least react to like the EWC news and then do the mid-season report card stuff. But we'll be back to voicemails with our next episode. No, we've been enjoying the we've been enjoying the voicemails. We've enjoyed, especially you. You've been dropping a lot of good ones, so those will definitely be back.
กำลังจะเดินไหลเก็บตามสไตล์หรือเปล่าตรงนี้ค่อยๆดันเข้ามาบอลเด้งกลับไปก่อนแล้วเปิดจ้าเอมาเจอล้มอยู่หนึ่งแต่ว่าพยายามจะมองหาอยู่แล้วสุดท้ายซ้ำแล้วเหมือนจะพอใจแล้วเหมือนกันครับแบคอ
Yeah, we've got in game number 2 here. Again, 19 squads up. Again, usually expect things to be pretty aggressive in this region, but teams, at least for now, are behaving for the most part. But we see the Val come in and absolutely gets nuked as he drops in inside the ring, absolutely getting wiped off the board. And that will get us down to 18 squads here. Bear Claw Gaming, a team that we saw start off really hot when it came to the split, unfortunately, is not now. So we'll have to see, we'll have to see what they're able to sort out. If they can start kind of bouncing back here the rest of the split and get themselves back into contention for qualifying for LAN. What are your thoughts on friend swords like Mates, Vitality, or Navi signing a team for EWC? I mean, again, the more orgs in, the better. Like, it'd just be great to have that name recognition no matter what, even if it is just for EWC. Again, with it being in France, like, it'd be great to have some of those French orgs get involved. I know for, like, the team competition, in terms of, like, the club championship, like, these teams that they would sign wouldn't be able to get involved. And I'm not even sure if teams can still sign. I think it just is for the club championship, so I still think teams can sign. It just won't count towards the club championship, I think. But yeah, it'd be great to have those teams in there. Like, I I wish Channel Mates or Vitality or anybody would get involved with Apex. It'd be great. What's up, Pero? My first time watching. I'm a fan of Team RRQ and I'm from Indonesia. Appreciate you watching, by the way. Do you think RRQ played well? Honestly, I don't really follow. Yeah, RRQ, they definitely got off to a pretty rough start earlier in the split, but they've definitely been bouncing back. And now that they've added Easy Flash, I do think we'll kind of see them, I think, get into some pretty good form if, you know, they can kind of find that same chemistry that the Easy Flash and Strafing used to have. Because we know the ability that Easy Flash has. He's incredibly insane when it comes to gun skill and fights and stuff like that. So if he can sync up with Pricey in their fights, they'll be really well off for sure. Yeah, Phantom, I have no idea anymore. They go back and forth when it comes to playing this or that. Why does Apac South play so much Valk? Yeah, it really is a good question. Again, it seems like a lot of with Apac South, they just they don't value the altar as much. Because I mean, we've seen a few times where altar's not getting banned. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one for sure. Like Valk definitely seems to come in a lot faster for those quick rotates and things like that. So yeah, I don't really get it either, to be quite honest. No, I really don't see Valk get played like that early in some of these other regions necessarily. I know it's like definitely not in EMEA, and I mean I don't think I really even, if I could think about it, I don't really think APAC North does it that early. Yeah, I 100% Phantom. I haven't either. What is the highest chances of qualifying to EWC from here? I will follow up on that question here after this game because I can kind of show the overall standings and kind of where teams are sitting at right now. But I can show you kind of after this game updates. And kind of how it works for this region for sure. แต่ว่านั่นแหละก็ได้ก่อแตกไปครับฟิสิกส์ตอนนี้กำลังมีปัญหาเหมือนกันครับเหมือนกำลังโดนเข้าทำมาครับริวยังไงโดนตีอัดมาด้วยหรือเปล่าครับพยายามจะที่อยู่แล้วมีเนตลอยมาโดนเนตกันไปครับจะพับใส่ไหมครับนั่นซิซูปาบอลไปแล้วก็เนตซับไปอีกหนึ่งลูก getting banned game 3-4 in APAC North scrims at least. Has that just been recently, Phantom? มันไม่มีครับหาแล้วโดนหัวเรียบร้อยเข้าหัวไปเลยครับแล้วสิล้มไปจียัดมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งครับพยายามจะเคลียร์ใส่แล้วยังไม่ได้เดินออกไปครับได้ซ้ำมา1 3 2ฟิสิกส์ออกจากเกมเรียบร้อยครับเป็นอารามที่เก็บงานไปคิวกำลังเดินหน้าต่อเหมือนกันครับตรงนี้ขึ้นมาแต่ว่าน็อกไป1ครับไอซี่ต้องค้ำให้ก่อนหรือเปล่าครับคิวไม่ได้ถ่วงเลโมมาด้วยครับแบกรอมาครับเจออยู่1ต้องวัดครับไอซี่ถอยมากรุ๊ปอัพทีมก่อนเพื่อดึงไปก่อนครับไม่รีบมาYeah, I think future, like, the best thing I can answer is that I just think that when crypto gets banned, they value the Valk information to, like, fly in late and find spots versus, like, trying to use, like, Alter for, like, player scan or anything like that. Just because, like I said, like, Alter doesn't get played nearly as much in these regions for whatever reason. I still don't quite understand why that's not the case. So again, I think they just value the Valk scan after crypto gets banned. ด้านตัวของ SS มีล้มไปเหมือนกันนะแล้วโดนเคาะมาจากข้างๆครับ PDG เซอร์ไปได้ VC มาครับแล้วมุมนี้ As we see a ring 4 closing, 13 squads left. Waybill going down in the kill feed here. We got QQ going down in the kill feed here. We'll have to see if they can get the res. Fair Call Gaming going down here as well. As all these teams trying to rotate in. And now here comes the send by Edward Gaming, maybe? SOUL, our game 1 winners eliminated. Oh, Casa giving them BK a shot here as they get the trade. Oh, some really good shots here by Casa, my god. They might even get the res here too. Oh, except they're getting walked up by Orchid now. Yeah, this is a pretty bad angle for VK to deal with now. Yeah, there he is. We're down to our top 8 here now. Especially if Olympus or Stormpoint play. Gotcha.
โอ้แล้วเหลือ8ทีมสุดท้ายตอนนี้ดึงเกมช้าใส่ไปเลยครับตูซิมเห็นไกลๆครับทักทายยังไม่มีดาเมจออกมาครับ
I'm assuming the game 1 ban was crypto, right? I missed that when I was looking. What the hell? Brother. Why is it skipping? It's pissing me off.
ลงเลยครับเล่นไม่ได้ตรงนี้ปล่อยดีกว่าครับตูซิม
I'm gonna pull this up on Twitch, to be honest.
หน้าตูซิมหมดเกมไปแล้วก็เลยจะเข้ามาใส่ต่อแล้วกดมาตรงนี้ได้ไหมแต่ว่าเพื่อนครับยิงอยากจัดแล้วโดนจีมาเจาะมาใส่กระโดดลงดีกว่าตรงนี้เล่นไม่ได้ก็ลายคิวลงมาตรงนี้ได้หรือเปล่ามีบอลมาแล้วพยายามเจียใส่แต่ว่ามันไม่ถึงตรงนี้ลึกไปกระโดดรวบตึงมาเรียบร้อยหายไปก่อนเลย1ครับแล้วเฟรมด้านบนมีปะทะกันแต่ว่าโดนเหมือนกันครับแล้วเซฟเฟรม
Strafing Flame able to clean up ARAM here, but yeah, that Maggie Q is just gonna burn.
น่าจะ
And Unlimited Ammo L-Star once again. Shout out to Unlimited Ammo being able to be put on crate weapons. Definitely healthy for the game. Titan Esports going down in 4th here, down to our top 3, which is Edward Gaming. Have to see who else here. L-Star is broken with Unlimited Ammo. It's insane. Okay, we got Edward Gaming, we've got Havoc. We'll have to see who our 3rd team is here. 3 full squads up. And it's Orchid, once again, find themselves in a top 3 situation. Yeah, here comes a pinch onto Havoc. Pretty bad position here for them, down to just 1 member left. Not a whole lot the solo's gonna be able to do here as the 2 teams are pinching. Some really good shots there. Orchid now losing 1 here as well. Trying to jump on him. They get the knock, so now it's a 2v2. A 2v1, and Edward Gaming will take game number 2. And what a banger game for them as well. We have Orchid once again taking 2nd place. So good start for them. Unlimited grenade amp. Yeah, they're not doing that anymore from my understanding. So I don't think we have anything to worry about with that. All right, so taking a look here at our series results after game number 2. We got Edward Gaming taking 1st place with 21. Orchid in 2nd with 18. Havoc in 3rd with 15. Titan in 4th with 5. And Team RRQ in 5th with 11. Taking a look at the overall standings, and after that, we've got Orchid still there in 1st place with 36. We got Havoc in 2nd with 25. SAUL in 3rd with 23. Edward Gaming in 4th with 21, and RRQ in 5th with 17. And so to answer the question earlier about who has the highest chance of qualifying EWC, essentially what we're looking at for this particular region is that VK Gaming, no matter where they finish in the standings, are auto-qualified to EWC based off of being last year's champ. So this region will have 8 additional teams, which will also depend on how regional finals plays out, because the winner of regional finals auto-qualifies to LAN. So it will be basically 7 other teams based off just points alone, whether that's a top 7, whether that's a mix of the top 8 or so. Again, you really want to make sure you're kind of finishing in like that top 5 or 6 spots to really feel good about where you're at, no matter how you finish in the regional final. Because in that way, you know, based on VK Gaming getting a spot and the regional final winner getting a spot, you've basically cemented yourself in there. So definitely one to keep an eye on for a lot of these teams about where they finish. and where they're at sitting on the cut line, because a lot of other regions are going to have a true cut line of like 9th place, or in terms of the Americas, it'll be like 13th place. But for this region, with VK Gaming getting the auto qual, it's going to make things a lot different here at the top of the leaderboard. So, based on that rule, and obviously not factoring in regional finals, essentially how it looks would be SAUL, Havoc, Orchid, Wolves, RRQ, VK, PXX, Gen G, and Edward Gaming being your 9 teams going. But obviously that's after 4.5 match days essentially right now. So things will definitely shake up. That is for sure. Orchid cooking unexpected. I mean, I don't think it's too unexpected for me. I actually thought Orchid could have a pretty decent split with Masu and Noel Sang teaming up with a Flow, because I know a Flow stepped back into the IGL role with these guys. And I thought Masu and Noel Sang had some potential last split. They just didn't quite finish off very well. And a Flow did pretty well with the boys over at 5 Years. So they just haven't played, obviously, like the best so far during the split. But it's good to see them kind of having a better stay and a better start to this day so far, for sure. I think EWC should consider hosting in other countries after France. I think the first couple in Riyadh cemented as a Saudi thing, but now it'd be cool to see it go to global scale. So yeah, I've heard rumors, which nothing obviously is confirmed right now, but the rumors is that they are actually looking to make it a global thing. I think they already said next year they plan on being back in Riyadh, um, for the 2027 version, but I think after that they are actually looking to expand globally potentially. So we'll have to see how that looks in uh, the future things. So, or future iterations of EWC. Yeah, future. So VK auto quals because they won EWC last year. That's an EWC specific rule. That the champ from last year for Apex auto qualifies every year to the next iteration of EWC. So that's why they are auto qual no matter what happens within their pro league. Who's the top fragger? So Ernesto for this region, some of the better fraggers. I mean, we can just even pull up the stats right now. I mean, Masu leading the kills leaderboard right now with 9, but I mean, Metro's had some good games. Easy Flash is definitely a very solid fragger in this region. Asia usually is another big name in this region that fries out. There's definitely some really good fraggers in this particular region. But those are definitely some of the ones that at least are pretty well known right now. So those would be ones to keep an eye on for sure. You think they nerf Axel before regional finals? Potentially. There's already been some rumors of some nerfs coming their way, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But there are definitely some rumors for sure of some things happening. So. Oh, QQ, duh. I mean, QQ as well. Sorry, they just wasn't on the leaderboard at least, like, when I looked really fast. But yeah, I mean, QQ. Did my stream shut off, bro? Hello? You guys still see my stream? Hopefully you guys are still here, because that was weird. My OBS literally just reconnected and restarted.
กันนะตัวกิมมิ่งได้มา7ครับแต้มคนละ3แล้วฟิสได้มา2เวโนมี1คะแนนครับตอนนี้ก็ต้องบอกว่ามีคะแนนครบทุกทีมแล้วนะว่าต้องไปกันต่อเลยครับ
Still here? Okay. Sorry, my OBS was just weird that it just restarted like that.
เรามารอดูครับว่าจะเป็นอย่างไรสำหรับ E-District ในรอบสุดท้ายครับก่อนที่เราจะไปลุยกันต่อใน Olympus นั่นเองครับสักครู่ฮะเดี๋ยวเจอกันใน In Game ครับผม
Bro, this thing is just so cooked. I'm just gonna watch over on YouTube or on Twitch. Maybe they do Riyadh every other year, which would incentivize more people to come to Riyadh if they were able to make it to one. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. I think that definitely makes sense for sure. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. Bam. I am not sure. I think VK might struggle now after Axel getting added. They look good in the defensive meta first weeks. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see if they're able to sort some stuff out.
ตอนนี้อะ
When it comes to the more aggressive stuff. I don't think they'll still be fine, but yeah, they'll definitely be an adjustment for sure for a team like them.
ต้องหาคะแนนเพิ่มนะสำหรับทีมที่ยังต้องการคะแนนในตอนนี้ครับ
Oh, I was hoping Battleground would have gone live, but it's all good. So second ban was Maggie, so we'll see Maggie out of things for now. I'm just gonna go ahead and just get rid of
ว่า
that.
ตอนนี้ได้ไปต่อเรื่อยๆแน่นอนนะอันดับที่ 1ของตารางในตอนนี้บ้างครับทางด้านตัวของทีม Orchid นะยังไม่ได้แชมป์ครับแต่ว่า2เกมก็จบที่2ทั้งคู่ครับนี่ฮะไม่มีผลอะไรนะไม่ได้เล่นนะตัวของแม็กกี้อยู่แล้วครับทำให้เล่นคอมเดิม
Yeah, last game here on E District. Again, Orchid with the first place sitting overall right now. Looking pretty darn good on the day so far.
จูนอีกสักหน่อยนะริมเฟรมกับ Easy Fan ลงไทซี่ครับริมเฟรมกับ Easy Fan เคยเล่นด้วยกันมาบ้างแล้วเหมือนกันนะครับสำหรับเขาเรียกว่าช่วงไลน์อัพ
Oh yeah, I've been keeping up Phantom. That's for sure.
ที่มีของ PXK
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't even like have scrims there for a while. Like it was that bad.
มาเปลี่ยนเป็นไพซี่
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
ไอซ์บอร์ดครับ
It was pretty cooked. That is for sure.
นะสุดท้ายมุมไม่เป็นใจของเขาครับเดินต่อไม่ได้โดนบีบมุมมา
Yeah, which sucks. You know, you definitely don't want to see people skipping scrims and stuff like that. It's quite unfortunate for sure.
ต้องการคะแนนที่สุดในตอนนี้ถืออยู่1คะแนนครับเล่น2เกม
Yeah, we see here we got some Alter, Gibby, Newcastle.
ดูวงเกม3เลยดีกว่าครับวงเกมนี้ไปทางด้านซ้ายล่างนะครับตรงนั้นเนี่ยมี
I really want this
สแควร์
freaking
นะครับ
multi that work better.
Street Market
Just downsize that and try it again.
ออเดอร์บอลครับกำลังจะขยับเข้าไปในโซนนะด้านหน้ามีคนยิงทักทายมาแล้วครับบินตรงนี้ขอลองจิ้มดูหน่อยฮะโซดาครับ
Brother, like why is it
เอามาได้
skipping?
ไม่มีปัญหานะยูเตอร์ครับไปได้ทางด้าน
Yeah, it definitely is pretty disappointing for sure. No matter what region it is, but
นี่แล้วมีคนแลนดิ้งลงมาข้างๆเลยครับได้ทักทายกับปาก็เมโทร
and Metro already getting the first kill here on the team trying to fly in.
เหมือนกันครับแล้วพยายามจะซ้ำแล้วเรียบร้อยก็ได้คิว
Metro absolutely frying so far.
แล้ว VKG
Which again was the big news in terms of roster mania for Apac South. Was Metro leaving and an easy flash coming in. So I don't know if you guys have any opinions on that situation. I definitely heard some stuff, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting move. That is for sure for a team that really started to pop off. Yeah, Metro, I thought he had was done playing Apex, but then yeah, I saw him join Grape Soda, which was quite the surprise for sure. But yeah, he is definitely playing. Yeah, definitely is a crazy one for sure. I agree.
นะครับ
Yeah, we see here. I believe it's gonna be one of these like viaduct,
แบครอเกมนี้ก็
and like street market type zones, where it potentially like pulls onto this bridge that he's looking at.
เกี่ยวคิวใครนะ
So Bear Call Gaming deciding to play like the backside here, give themselves plenty of space. What do you mean by fishy Sundays? What was fishy?
มาดีทางด้านตรงโค้ชครับ
About the roster move with Metro?
โอ้ยโดนไป75ตรงนี้เช็คดาเมจไปครับเซจูเอลครับเลกาซี่โดนทางด้านตัวของชาร์ลไรเฟิลเบิ้ลไปนะ
This is here. I say you well going the Valk, Watson, Newcastle, not playing the Gibby right now. Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, for Easy Flash, obviously you join an org with RRQ. Probably a little hard to pass up. That's probably where he was coming from with that. So that's probably the main reasoning, I would think, as to why he did it. And we got Weibo getting their armors juiced up here.
จะวัดกันอีกรอบหรือเปล่าครับมุมเล็กมุมน้อยเอาหมดนะตรงนี้ยังไงครับไหวกันแล้วฝั่งนู้นเองกิดใส่แต่ก็ยิงโดนเหมือนกันครับแล้วโบลินไม่ปั๊มเลยครับรู้ว่าเขาไม่ดันมาแน่ๆฮะ
Yeah, Bolin just trying to get knocked here so they can get another res and farm that Evo.
โอ้นี่ฮะได้อีกหนึ่งครั้งครับแล้วได้ไป2แล้วนะครับไปหรือเปล่าโอ้แล้วใจแข็งครับไม่ไปอะได้น็อก2แต่ว่าไม่เอาครับเจนเรียบร้อยครับแล้วทางด้านตัวของแบ็คฟลอร์ไปมีน็อกมาเพิ่มเหมือนกันครับแต่ว่าตรงนี้เอาครับแท็กมาเจอกำลังจะปั๊มแล้วโดนเบิร์ดไปก่อน1ชุดเอามาครับไลโมจะไหลเข้าไปต่อแล้วเข้า
I was saying I missed a message. Yeah, Unlimited Anna was definitely the reason damage record was broken. 100% agree with that. And yeah, Omar, gotta see Genji play better for sure. Again, them playing bad and still being kind of around the qualifying spots definitely goes to show how good they are. But yeah, they definitely need to lock it in these last few match days if they want to feel better about where they're at qualifying wise.
โยก็ยังมีประเด็นกันอยู่นะคิวเองก็เนี่ยครับน็อกเรื่อยๆครับตรงนี้ก็ยังไม่ม่วงกันนะพยายามจะเทใส่เรื่อยๆฮะ
Just here getting ready for ring 2 closing. Again, looks like it's pulling more towards the viaduct side. At least based off the ring how it looks right now, but definitely don't want to estimate some sort of pullback more towards the bridge in between viaduct and the street market side. So we'll have to wait and see how these teams decide to play it as ring 2 comes to a close here in about a minute and 10 seconds.
ผมให้ยิงก็ขอทักทายหน่อยครับนะตัวเจนะน็อกโซโยไปอีก1ครั้งครับเอลเซต
20 squads up, which again, pretty impressive. Will not be this way at Olympus. Get ready for some crazy Olympus gameplay, I will say. Games 4 through 6, I'm sure will definitely be interesting. Probably a lot of Axel to start with. Potentially some Gibby. You know, we'll have to wait and see how teams decide to play it out. But you can definitely tell Axel has changed up a lot of stuff in terms of the comps and what's getting played at what time. Because again, you know, especially with, like, you know, the Americas are seeing Axel picking up some decently early bans to go along with like with Alter and Crypto, so that kind of pushes back some of the big man comps that people are playing with the Gibby and Newcastle to potentially more of like a game 4 or 5. So we'll have to wait and see how things play out this weekend though, because it could prove pretty interesting in terms of the comp and bans and things like that for the regions. Alright, as we get ready to see the next ring here. And it does look like it's going to pull more towards the street market side. So it could be the 4-story building on that ping where this potentially ends at. So again, all these teams that decide to play the backside viaduct and things like that will have to try to find the way to rotate in.
คุยครับตอนนี้โดนเปิดไป2ครับยังไงดีฮะคนสุดท้ายแล้วจะ
Boy down to just
เขาไม่ให้เล่น
one, and he goes down. That'll be inside the ring. Picking up some KP there.
ทีมแรกที่ออกจากเกมนี้เป็นทางด้านตัวของคุยเองครับ
True, that will be the first time with no tridents on an official ALGS match day. Good comms. So we will see how these teams play things out without a trident. Could be even more important to rotate early now on Olympus, because your rotation will be hell if you can't rotate fast.
โมไม่เล่นครับแม่พอต่างคนต่างรอจังหวะพลาดครับพยายามสแนปใส่เรื่อยๆนะด้านบนในทักทายก่อนได้เวลา
Ring 3 closing here. Still 19 squads up. And assuming we'll lose some teams here, I'll just rotate in as we see some of our viaduct teams. Again, some of them will be able to play in, but teams like here on the backside are going to have to take a fight, like we see with Goat here. And there comes the Axel ult. My goodness. I mean, what an ult with the Axel there. And down goes Goat. Bear Claw Gaming playing that to an absolute perfection when it comes to the Axel ult. But lo and behold, here comes the team they have to rotate into. But they do pick up the kills on SAUL, as another team also will shoot SAUL in the back. And that is going to allow Bear Claw Gaming to get the reses and stay alive here. One could argue we had no tridents in ALGS before, and this isn't the first time. True. หายไป3นะครับอีก1นาทีกำลังจะโบกเฟส4เราต้องเดินหน้าต่อด้วยครับแต่ละทีมครับต้องดูว่าจะมี What's up, Nels? How you doing over on YouTube? How we doing?
VK ขยับมาแล้วครับตรงนี้กำลังจะเดินเข้าไปชนบ้านกันขอแบ่งบ้านอยู่หน่อยได้ไหมตรงนี้เคลียร์เราทิ้งไปก่อนตรงจอร์จไปได้เหมือนกัน
Obviously, I meant to say first time on Olympus competitive that we won't see tridents, but you know, whatever.
ปล่อยไว้ก่อนอุ้ยแล้วเดินเข้ามาแบบนี้ยังไม่ยิงกระสุนไม่พอโดดลงมาก่อนครับด้านนอกมาเหลือน้องยูอัปเตอร์คนเดียวครับที่อยู่ด้านบนรามตรงนี้ยังไง
Yeah, I think it's definitely better without the tridents for sure.
ไม่ได้ครับต้องปล่อยไว้ก่อน
I agree.
ปั๊มยาวๆครับที่อยู่บ้าน
Olympus will still be shit, but it'll hopefully be less shit.
เจอตัวแล้วครับแต่ว่าคือตามไม่ได้ต้องปล่อยก่อนหรือเปล่าต้องบอกตรงนี้ต้องเคลียร์รั้วทิ้งครับแบคคอร์เกมมิ่งใกล้ๆมาเหมือนกันครับคนละชั้นนะตึกนี้มีอยู่3ทีมครับ
Here we go now. The mass exodus of teams rotating in here. 17 squads up. Definitely see a lot of carnage here as some of our teams have to rotate into this circle here. Usually this typically will end just outside the 4-story, but we're in the height here. So we'll have to see where this final ring ends up eventually pulling for all of our teams. Yeah, Genji in the kill feed picking up some kills. I've seen SAUL win a zone from this particular spot in past matches, not this particular split, but last year. So that could definitely be a really good spot for Genji to play here. And just kind of take over this entire side of zone.
เข้ามาเล่นแล้วต้องยอมโดนหัวไปเลยแล้วขี่จะทิ้งก่อนนะ
Metro here being the only one alive for Grape Soda.
มาครับไล่ที่ครับไล่ที่
And
ไล่
he's just
คน
gonna
ครั
get
บ
nade spammed out of there probably.
อาร์คเต็มพ่ออาร์คซ้ำอีกหนึ่งเลยละกันครับเอาชัวร์ไปขวางของนู้นไว้แล้วก็ต้องว่ายังไงก็ต้องยืนเล่นด้านในครับ
He's alive for now.
บินลงมาอีกหนึ่งครับอาร์คิวตั้งโล่ทันหรือเปล่าได้เกรฟโซดามาจนได้แล้วตั้งโล่มา
RQ trying to play
ต้องเข้ามาเล่นกับเพื่อนก่อน
these huts here. A very difficult position to play. Obviously with the Newcastle that'll help, but they're gonna absolutely spam here for God knows how long. So we'll have to see if they decide to stick it out or if they end up rotating away.
ไปได้เพิ่มมาอีกหนึ่งครับลิซเดลิงกำลังจะเดินใส่หรือเปล่าครับอัลติเมทไปแล้วด้วยครับนิวคูมา15คิวครับแกเดจ่ายไปอย่างไงก็โดนเกี่ยวมาด้วยครับนิวคูด้านบนว่าไง
Still 15 squads up, which is pretty damn insane, I have to say.
เตรียมตัวไปดีกว่าครับตรงนี้ไม่อยู่เล่นด้วยครับขอเข้าวงไปก่อนแล้วบินมาแต่
And they're just getting absolutely shredded by the zone, shredded by, I mean, they have basically no health here. They're going to try to land. The Valk gets killed out of the air, and then a flow with the longbow. But they may just get the res. Shout out Gibby Newcastle. Because, you know, definitely not broken by any means. Autobots going down in the kill feed. We got A-Ram down as well. Down to a top 12 situation here. I agree, Phantom. Definitely should not be that much survivability allowed when it comes to Gibby Newcastle for sure.
ตอนนี้ค่อยๆลดปริมาณคนไปเรื่อยๆครับยังถือว่านิ่งอยู่นะในตอนนี้ครับและ EDG ไปเปิดมาอีกแล้วครับทางด้านตัวของ EDG กำลังจะคิวลิ่งแมชชีนใส่ครับโอ้โหแล้วรีเซ็ตมาก่อนนะว่า
Now we see Gen G starting to go down in the kill feed here. And down they go to Havoc. Havoc picking up a big fight win there and some major KP. Oh my god, some really good shots here. Still a big fight here, trying to get the res off, but they're just sitting in this thermite, and down they go. That could definitely have been played much better than that, but they do go down. Top 8 situation here now. VK Gaming, Weibo being two of our bigger names, still alive here. As rank 6 will get ready to close here now. Who is going to be able to stall out long enough is going to be the ultimate question here. With this Gibby Newcastle, with the Watsons, things like that. Who can basically stall their Yuto long enough to survive here? There's fighting going on the other side of zone here as you see VK Gaming trying to patiently wait things out here. Fizz 6 for now. It's got a lot of space to play here. Newcastle wall does go down pretty early here, though, I will say. RQ in a pretty big fight right now. Nino going down kill feed, top 7 situation here. My goodness, this final circle is absolutely insane. Oh my god, they're absolutely cooking with that thermite here. Pricey just trying to fly up here now to survive. They do have a Newcastle wall for now, but he's going to get absolutely cooked on this here. BK Gaming going down the kill feed. Oh my god, Pricey. Pricey just trying to stay alive as the Valk. My god, absolute chaos here. Weibo going down. Down to a couple solos here. RQ does go down. Noel Sang was alive, but Fizz 6 being the one that takes game number
เกม
3. And our last game on
แล้ว
E District
นิ่ง
before
จัดครับ
moving
ไอ้สิ่ง
over
ที่
to
ไล่พื้นที่ลงมาจากทางด้านบน
Olympus.
นะทำให้ไฮกราวด์เป็นของพวกเขาครับแล้วคนเหลือเยอะกว่าก็โถมมา
Again,
เลย
big
ครับ
win there by Fifth Six. Silly Steps Sis, if anybody remembers that name from last year. They pick up the dub here in our game number 3. So taking a look at the overall standings here for game number 3. Fifth Six there with 21. Orchid in second once again. 3 second places on E-District. Can't ask for much more consistency than that. They take the second place with 17. RQ, to Price's credit, able to stall out long enough to get into the top 3. They get 12 points. Weibo Gaming in 4th with 7. VK Gaming in 5th with 8. And you take a look now at the overall standings. After E-District is over with, and we have got Team Orchid once again in first place with 53. Have opened quite a big gap here. We got Havoc in second with 31. We got Edward Gaming in third, tied there with RRQ with 29, and Fizz 6 there in fifth with 23. Some of our other notable names, we got SAUL there in sixth with 23, tied really for fifth place. You got VK Gaming with 16. You got Gen G with 14 down in 11th. And even Kakoi, one of our teams that did have a pretty decent start to the year, they are down in 20th after our first 3 games. So moving over to Storm Point, or to Olympus here now. You can tell how much I don't want to see Olympus because I keep wanting to say, or will say, Storm Point. So, shout out to Olympus and how dog shit of a map it is. But anyway, we'll take a look here at the POIs heading over to E-District. And this was an interesting one because we will see no team at Stabilizer, which has usually been a POI that a lot of people have decided to draft. We will not see anybody there at this particular time. Some of our bigger names, Kakoi ended up getting Somers University there with the second overall pick. We got Team RRQ over at Hydroponics, next to Team Orchid over there at Dockyard. So maybe we'll see some beef potentially early on. We'll have to wait and see. But we've got Gen G over at Clinic. Definitely we'll see if maybe they decide to run it like an SAUL at Gardens or things like that. Or maybe they start to pick some fights with Weibo Gaming over at Elysium. That'll be one to keep an eye on. And then our other big name there with VK Gaming taking Power Grid with the 27th overall pick there as well. So that is what our POIs are going to look like for now. And again, we'll be locked and loaded into match number 4 here shortly. Yes, big shout out to Gibby Newcastle because, of course, we have to see it. It always has to happen at some point until they nerf these damn characters to where we don't have to see it every goddamn second. So, shout out to... shout out to Gibby Newcastle, I guess. I don't really know else what to say besides that. Olympus isn't that bad, at least from a viewer's perspective. Yeah, I mean, again, I might just be a purist when it comes to, like, the maps and stuff, but, like, I just can't stand some of the stuff with Olympus. It just feels so random. Like, you don't have to think on that map. You kind of just int and are brain dead. So we'll have to wait and see. Overall ranking. Yeah, so taking a look at the overall standings, we got SAUL would have moved into first place if things stand. Havoc would be in second. Orchid in third. Wolves in fourth. VK in fifth. RRQ in sixth. PXX in seventh. Edward Gaming in eighth. And Genji in ninth. Again, this is for the overall Pro League standings. And again, for the series standings so far, again, Orchid, Havoc, Edward Gaming, RRQ, and Fist 6 make up your top 5 with teams like SAUL just outside the top 5, VK Gaming, and Gen G down there in 9th place and 11th place, respectfully. But again, a lot still to play when it comes to having Olympus. Gonna be a lot of action still left to play, that is for sure. Yeah, no worries, Nell. No worries at all. Genji's downfall needs to be studied. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see. You know, we'll definitely see with Genji. You know, again, it could just be a thing that they just haven't quite found their rhythm yet in this particular meta. It's very possible. Like I said, I think the biggest thing for me is that in some of those other metas, they were really used to being one of the few teams that really solely was on edge all the time. So then when they were catching some of these teams that were trying to rotate that weren't used to being on edge, they just had that natural advantage. Plus, they were one of the few teams there for a while that was always playing crypto. Even when crypto wasn't getting banned early, they were big crypto people, so they kind of had that natural advantage when it comes to like crypto EMP. But now that crypto is being banned early on and like everybody's playing crypto in that game one, I do think not having crypto available for at least some of their games outside of just game one does hurt them innately, just because they're just so damn good with that
มาดู
character.
คะแนนตอนนี้หน่อยดีกว่าครับคะแนนตอนนี้เนี่ยก็อย่างที่เห็นกันเลยนะครับเป็นทางด้านตัวของ Orchid
Hey Phantom,
ที่
sometimes
นำ
old
52
habits
คะแนนครับ
die
ต่อ
hard.
ไปครับ
That's
ต้องบอกอีก31คะแนน
that
นะ
is
ครับ
definitely what I
ที่
can say when it comes to
29 คะแนน
Genji,
โดย
because
Orchid
I've always
SL
thought
23
that
พิเศษ
they
นะครับ
need
ที่
to
มาในเกมเมื่อสักครู่
100% have
ดู
moved
สิ
off
ครับ
how
ที่
they've
สวน
played,
กับ VK Gaming ค
but
รับ Genji
yeah,
Esports นะครับคุณโอ๊ค Bearclaw
they
ครับ
love
Wave
the way they want to
โซดา
play,
น้ำมัน
and they're
เซ
going
น
to
กับ
stick to it.
Autobot มา
So
ม่าเวเนโนโกดแล้วก็คักโกอี้ครับคะแนนในตอนนี้นะทุกผู้ชมครับ
that is how they
รอดู
that
ว่า
is how
จะ
they
เป็น
truly
อย่าง
feel
ไร
about
ต่
it.
อครับส่วนทางด้านตัวของ w i n n e r นะครับทางด้านตัวของ3
Yeah, we
ที
see
แร
here
กก็
again,
เป็น
Valk
LEDG แล้วก็ Physics
being
นะ
the
ครับ
ban
ได้
for
ไป
game
แชมป์คนละ1แชมป์แถมได้คนละ
game
9
3 here.
เท่ากันเป๊ะ
So again, characters maybe like
แข่งกัน
Axel,
มาครับตอนนี้
potentially
เหลืออีกครึ่ง
Newcastle,
ทางนะครับ
Gibby.
3 แผน
You know,
ที่
we'll have to see kind of what comps
ในครึ่งหลัง
are brought
ที่
out
เป็นทาง
here
ด้าน
for
ของ
Apac South.
Olympus ครับต้องดูว่าจะทำได้
But
หรือ
yeah,
เปล่า
definitely some
ฮะ
good candidates
ถ้า
potentially
ได้
to
ไปต่อครับถ้าโดนเบรกขึ้นมา
to be
ก็
banned
เป็น
for
เรื่อง
next
แน่น
game.
อน
So
นะ
we'll have
ต
to
อน
wait and
นี้
see.
เอาครับมารอดูกันครับว่าจะเป็นอย่างไรนะครับสำหรับครึ่งหลังที่เหลือครับตรงนี้เกมก็ใกล้จะเริ่มแล้วนะอาจจะมีพักเบรกยาวสักครู่หนึ่งครับแล้วเดี๋ยวเรากลับมา
100% Phantom, I agree. I just don't think that play style fits them whatsoever. They definitely want to take fights, to say the least. It's very interesting how he does his stream. That is for sure. I'm just not used to like these pauses and things like that. Very, very interesting. Yeah, usually not a surprise here. Get a little bit of a wait between games 3 and 4. A little bit of halftime break. Yeah, I'm assuming the boys over Battleground are just gonna call it quits for tonight. Not really worried about firing up the stream, it seems like, so We are chilling here. We are chilling here. Can SAUL easily qualify? Yeah, I mean, they're definitely one of the teams that's in a very good position when it comes to qualification. So here's what the Pro League standings look like right now in terms of like if this match day was included and where the teams finished at, was where they finished. SAUL would be first overall. The cutoff is going to be somewhere like 7th, 8th, ninth, somewhere in there, depending on how things play out. But SAUL, essentially barring an absolute collapse, should almost be qualified already for EWC, based on how well they're playing. So, yeah, they should feel really good about where they're sitting at right now. The boys are absolutely playing top-notch Apex, that is for sure. So they should be feeling pretty good about themselves. Yeah, and again, for those maybe that missed it, comparative to other regions, how it works for Apac South is that VK Gaming, no matter where they finish, are auto-qualified to EWC based on being last year's champs. So this region will have 8 more teams that will qualify. One of those is guaranteed for the regional final winner. So there's only going to be 7 teams based purely off of points that will qualify. So essentially teams are competing to really solidify themselves into the top 7 because that'll basically automatically guarantee you to go. And then from there, just, it'll depend on where like VK Gaming finishes, where the regional finals winner finishes, to see if maybe like that 8th and 9th place also qualify as well. So yeah, like I said, barring like any sort of absolute collapse, which I just don't see forthcoming at all, like SAUL definitely should be qualified for EWC. I really don't see a scenario where they wouldn't. Just because, one, they're just playing really well and they're one of the best teams in the region. But two, just the amount of points they've already stacked up, I just don't see that many more teams being able to like jump them and knock them out of a spot. So they should feel pretty good about where they're at. Yeah, here we go. Game number 4, first one on Olympus. Again, first game on Olympus with no tridents in terms of official ALGS matches. So we'll have to see how these teams play things out now that they're a little bit more on foot. And especially now that there's no Valk. So we'll have to keep that in mind as well when these teams rotate. ครับดูวงกันหน่อยดีกว่าครับวงในเกมนี้ครับ Estate Turbine นะครับ Camel Lab Terminal ครับที่อยู่ในวงนะมีโอกาสที่จะไปจบ It looks like this zone potentially just outside of Hammond Labs. The potentially fatal Game 7 for Falcon zone at Champs. And Edward Gaming getting some really good shots in here. My goodness, an absolute knock up on 2 members of Orchid here. They're going to probably look to try to chase down this last kill, potentially even. My goodness, they absolutely cooked those guys. And then the third gets picked, so our first place team in the squad, or first place team in the lobby, dying within 30 seconds of the game starting. And this is where Olympus is the ultimate equalizer. Honestly, it is very tough to be consistent on this map. Yeah, that average is actually insane, Phantom. Averaging 65 points for 10 scrim blocks. That's pretty damn nutty. But I mean, they've been looking good though. I mean, ever since they've added Obley, they definitely look good, which is cool to see. No, you're good, Phantom. Don't worry about it at all.
เจอครับเกือบครับเกือบโดนรวบตึงเหมือนกันนะ SAUL ครับ
Blaze my Korean homeboys. Hey, I respect it. I respect it.
จะไปที่ไหนต่อครับมีหน้าตรงวอยมานะทางหน้าตรงฮาวอกไปเปิดคิวมาเหมือนกันครับตรงนี้กำลังจะมีไฟต้องรีบฆ่าออกจากเกมกันแล้วได้
It's here. Havoc also picking up where they left off. Picking up some nice KP.
ไก่ก็ยิงเช็คไปก่อนนะตรงนี้โบเองก็อยู่ในแฮมมอนครับยาวๆครับบราซี่ไปได้ทั้งตัวซิมมา
Okay, Huevo should be in a decent spot for now. Again, I fully expect this zone to pull away from them. But we'll have to wait and see.
บราซี่ไปได้ทั้งทีก๊อตมาด้วยครับ
It's looking like here Kokoi maybe got signed by somebody because they have VTR in their name. So I'm not sure who VTR is. Yeah, Havoc's been going insane. I'm not really sure what they've gotten into, but they're actually popping off. To say the least. The boys are cooking.
เปิดใส่หน้าตรง RQ ครับแบบนี้มีประเด็นหรือเปล่าหรือว่าเป็นระยะไกลเลยนะคิวครับอยู่ด้านในนู่นเลยฮะ VK แย้มมาได้เหมือนกันนะครับตอนนี้ก็ประเด็นมาที่ Gen G ครับโดนตามไปก่อนหนึ่งก็จริงนะตอนนี้ชุบกลับมาได้ครับ
Gen G in a brutal spot right now.
จากไกลๆก็จะรอดหรือเปล่าครับไอเจีย
Looks like they'll just make it up the hill. My God. Definitely found themselves in an interesting spot. That's for sure.
ทูซิมออโตบอทออกจากเกมไปแล้วครับโควี่เกมนี้เหมา2เหมา3เลยครับโยเตอร์ครับเห็นแต่เหมือนจะยังไว้ก่อนหรือเปล่าครับยังไงฮะมีใกล้ก็มีไกลก็มีฮะD6 บ้างครับ
As you can already see here, Ring 1 getting ready to close. Already down to 17 squads here. The pace definitely picking up on Olympus. Got RQ here playing for this pull into Gardens.
ทีมถือว่าหายไปเร็วนะทีที่แฟดไปได้ของคัสซาอีกครั้งครับคัสซาเหมือนจะไม่ได้ปั๊มนะเพื่อที่จะเก็บแต้มโล่ไปเรื่อยๆครับ
Again, I do expect the zone to be more of the one that Falcons lost in that champs game.
ไงดีครับ IQ
You can tell VK Gaming just fishing for some Evo here.
นี่ฮะได้คัสซาอีก1ครั้งครับ
No big deal. They'll take the extra Evo for the res. Getting themselves all up to blue shield at least.
อัปเดตไปเรื่อยๆครับเก็บดาเมจเก็บอะไรไปนะเพื่อน
They should be chilling.
โคลเลอร์ด้วยครับเหลือ
They are chilling.
มาครับที่คาคุยอีก1ครั้งครับได้50โดนพังประตูทิ้งไปฮะ
Yeah, I mean, I truly think they'll be fine, Phantom. It's definitely an interesting situation to see if they are truly pissed off at each other. I do really think it's just this group quality in Pro League with these NT metas right now. Because again, some of these teams, man, they just see a crack. They have Axel, so they just literally slide in with Axel and just absolutely throw games. And I mean, it's not even just even like the the teams coming up from challengers. I mean, I've seen examples from a lot of different teams doing making plays like that. And I'm sure even Falcons has made a play or two like that as well. Like Axel just unfortunately brings kind of like that NT sort of play style, and then you mix her in like with a crypto and an altar and the conduits and all these different characters that just make the game very frustrating to play. When it feels like you're making the right decision, the right choice, you just have a team Axel Q from halfway across the map to kill you. It just definitely makes things frustrating to play against. But yeah, I think they'll be fine though. Yeah, Axel definitely does feel pretty damn brain dead at times, I must say. As we see Weibo Gaming picking up some KP on inside. 15 squads left here.
Olympus นะแผนที่เล็กมาก็โดนรูดมาหรือเปล่าครับตรงนี้เจนจียังไงดีอะชี
Here comes Genji.
ด้านนอกครับเตรียมไหลต่อนะเจนจีเดินมาด้านบนมีทักทายมาเหมือนกันครับดูฮะวอล์กบ้างครับตรงนี้คุมยาวๆครับไม่มีใครเล่นเลยครับโซโย่SSUL ครับในเอสเตท1 ครั้งนะวงออกไหนครับวงนี้
There's the pull, and it actually does come into Gardens.
เอามาดูพื้นที่หน่อยดีกว่าครับตอนนี้ขยับกันเข้ามาแล้วนะ
We'll see you, Phantom. Have a good night. Take care.
ด้านในตอนนี้เริ่มจะเขาเรียกว่าจับจองกันเยอะแล้วเหมือนกัน
And we actually will get this pull into Gardens here.
ต้องขยับเข้าครับ
So yeah, we'll make things interesting for how these teams will decide to play this out. Again, a lot of buildings for these teams to play. Which one ultimately is the best building that you can find? That's going to be the question here. So we'll have to see what teams decide and see which teams can survive everyone trying to find a building here.
มาเซตอัพบ้านก่อนครับมาฮิว
Again, teams that have the Watson, that have the Newcastle, definitely will be in the best shape. That is for sure.
ปั๊มขึ้นมาก่อนครับราซี่จะเล่นหนักใส่หรือเปล่าแล้วโดนเปิดดาเมจมาก่อนด้วยครับวันนี้ไม่ดีเท่าไหร่ครับเจอกับแบ็คฟรอครับแล้วมีเคเบิลแต่ว่าเหมือนจะไม่ได้ทำดาเมจขนาดนั้นนะครับแฮกกิ้งหลบมาก่อนครับหลบแกนไปแล้วกลับที่ขวาวอลเปเชอร์
I'll leave after this game. Fair enough, Phantom. Fair enough.
โค้ชก็คุมโชคอยู่ฮะหาวอล์กส์
And Havoc, one of our main teams, have to make the rotate in here. What are the bans so far? So it was Crypto game 1. It was then Maggie game 2. And then we had Valkyrie game 3. Those were our bans.
โอ้โหด้านนอกวงหรือเปล่าครับแบบนี้
Which Crypto, obvious. That's basically across every region. That's getting the ban. Maggie, not a surprise for Apac South because they just love that character. And she's just been a staple. The Valk is definitely a surprise for me. I just think a lot of people are evaluating the Valk dive. Oh my gosh. The Kraber! The Kraber off of the Axel ult goes absolutely dumb stupid. It helps wipe the squad there. Genji looking like they pick up some nice KP as well onto Havoc. But yeah, just finished my thought though. I think a lot of teams value the Valk info and the Valk rotates. After using crypto, and even if teams still run the altar with the Valk for some reason, obviously altar can get the console perk to where you still get beacon and console. So I just think people are really valuing the Valk and what she brings.
หลังเดียวที่ยืนตรงนี้ได้ด้วยครับ
Yeah, dummy stew Craver shot. Absolutely.
อันนี้เวอร์เกมมิ่งครับยังไม่เข้านะโดนยิงกดหลังมาฮะเจนจิหมาครับแล้วไปครับตรงนี้ลูดครับลูดมาแล้วจะไป
Yeah, Seer, Genji trying to move up here, running more of an aggressive comp with the Seer.
โดนกินหรือเปล่าตรงนี้ขึ้นมาจ้าเอ๋แต่ว่าไปไหนไม่รู้ครับโดนแล้วมาโหต้องยิง
Seer and the Axel here, some really good shots. He's gonna try to go in here.
มาอีกหนึ่งครั้งแต่นั่นแหละเรียบ
Oh my
ร้อย
god,
ครับ
and just
ไป
fish
หนึ่
in
ง
a
ต่อไป
barrel.
สอง
That is
ได้
Weibo
ได้
Gaming.
กำลังจะเสีย
But
เหมือนกัน
now
ครับ
the overextension though. Can they get the res back? The Craver shot coming out here.
ยังไงดีครับโดนลอยไปอีกหนึ่ง
And the
ครั้ง
Axel ult coming out as well.
ท่าของแท้กันแล้วจะไม่
That Axel ult is absolutely putting in work for a lot of teams here, right? I mean, my god. How many people are getting launched in the air? My
แล้วเหลือ
goodness.
คนสุดท้ายเป็นเด็กสเตอร์ครับ3 ต่อ 1แบบนี้น่าจะยากเกินไปหรือเปล่าก็เป็นเบรจ่ายซ้ำมาด้วยครับต้องเติมกล่องก่อนแล้วด้านหลังมายังไงครับมีหลังเข้ามาโดนสโลมาก่อนครับเพก
So much fighting happening in this field right now with essentially no cover.
คนต้องเล่นแล้วเรียบร้อยเจนจีสปอร์ตจบ12ไปเลยอะโอ้โดนสูตรเดียวกันเลยครับ
Bear Claw Gaming just surviving right now. VK Gaming picking up some more KP here, looking pretty good. A lot of our big names still up right now. We've got VK Gaming, we got RRQ, we got SAUL, all still alive.
ใกล้ๆกันเลยครับยอเตอร์โดนเปิดดาเมจไปครับมาที่ด้านนอกอีกหนึ่งครั้งครับแบ็คคอร์เกมมิ่งด้านหน้ามีเจอตัวแล้วครับ
You see Bear Claw Gaming here trying to decide potentially which team to push.
ดูเอกันดีกว่าครับว่าจะไปไหนอ่ะตรงนี้แต่เนตจ่ายมาครับ RQ ปั๊มมาก่อนครับ RQ ตรงนี้
Yeah, I got about 30 seconds here before the next ring closes again. 10 squads still up here. See who can still hold strong here. Only a couple buildings that are left in. You can see it pulling out to the field here. So, going to be a pretty tough one for a lot of our teams to try to traverse this. You can already see one member of Bear Claw Gaming going down here. Gibby Bubble, the only thing saving them right now, but that will go away quickly. See if they can look for a way to get that res here. And they're going for the box res here in the open. We'll have to see if they can pull that off. And I think they were able to pull that off from what it sounds like. I mean, people are just having way too much fun in Axel. My goodness. Bear Claw Gaming, you see that they try to commit for this. They overcommit. They lose Walking L here. He gets full killed. Just a way too overly aggressive play here with this many teams alive in the lobby. Heck goes down as well. That leaves just a solo for Bear Claw Gaming. Lose Veneno. We're going to start losing so many people trying to rotate and find a spot here at this point. ขึ้นอยู่เหมือนกันครับตรงนี้ยังไงมีโดมบังไว้อยู่ยังทำอะไรไม่ได้ครับโอ้แล้วแบบคอเกมมิ่งได้ชุบมาครับด้านบนมีประเด็นครับชิวๆนี่ไม่มีปัญหาแล้ว And we see Grape Soda picking up the fight win over RRQ, which you know has got to make Metro feel pretty good about that, to say the least. They do eventually go down though. BK Gaming once again still alive here, having found the pretty early god spot here. Should be in a pretty damn good spot. Under our top 4 here.
คุกเกมนี้หรือเปล่าก็แล้วเดินเช็คมาโผล่มาแบบนี้โดนรวบตึงไหมโดมชนโดมไปก่อนครับดึงจังหวะมา
See just how much space they own in this zone right now. Okay, they can't overextend here too much. SAUL, Koi, some of our other teams here in the final lobby. We're in the final circle here.
ยิงหลังฟรีมาแต่ว่ามีโล่บังไว้ก่อนตรงนี้ตั้งโลนิวคาสเซิลวอลไปครับแล้วมีทีมบินขึ้นไปแล้วกับคาคุยเอาติมเมตจ่ายมาแล้วเพื่อนเฟดโดมไว้แต่ว่าเหมือนจะยังไม่เล่นครับตรงนี้วิฟูขึ้นมา
Orc comes out here.
ก่อนครับพยายามจะเบรกตัวเองไว้ก่อนตั้งทางด้านตัวของ
Could be a decently cheeky spot here that could survive at least for a little bit. Again, VK just owns a lot of this space here. They can't take too much damage though. QQ, he does go down. And now they get peeked from multiple teams. The bombardment able to get that initial knock. Yeah, the res is trying to come out here. It's just going to be too much for them to probably deal with. And down goes VK Gaming. ARAM doing a great job of killing off VK, which felt like had the best spot in this zone. We got so much going on here with the bombardments, the Watson pylons, the bubbles. We're down to just our last two squads here, Kakoi and ARAM. And again, so much going on. Gibby ults and the Kraber shot from that close here. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this final ending? Oh my god. Oh my god. The Wraith Q? Does he live long enough? Oh my god. Oh my god. What a play. Holy shit. What a play. Kakoi picks up the dub off the back of some crazy Wraith play for the dub. Holy shit. What a play by VC there to stay alive on the Wraith. Was able to get the 2 re-knocks while the Newcastle was trying to res. It ended up being a Wraith on Wraith fight there at the end. And thankfully enough for him, he had enough health there to outlast ARAM's Wraith there at the end. What a insane last 1v1. Oh, for sure. 100% future. 100%. But yeah, power booster's definitely not busted, though. Definitely not busted by any means. Bam. It doesn't change the fact that this is still the worst map. It is still the worst map that's being played. Some of the games are still fun to watch, but that's like any other map in Apex still. It's still of a shit map. Yeah, that is it for our game number 4. Taking a look at the stats for game number 4 here. We've got Kakoi taking first place with 23. We've got ARAM there in second with 18. SAUL taking third with 8. VK Gaming in fourth with 13. Bearclaw Gaming in fifth with 11. And those are your big ones for game number 4. And then taking a look at the overalls after this game number 4. Orchid still sitting first place with 53 points. Edward Gaming there in second, tied with Havoc with 34. We've got RRQ in fourth with 33. We've got SAUL in fifth with 31. VK Gaming working their way back up the leaderboard there now with 29. And then ARAM in 7th, Kakoi in 8th, Fizz 6th and 9th, and Bearclaw Gaming there in 10th. And if things were to stand as is for the overall here for Apac South Pro League, we would have SAUL, VK Gaming, Orchid, Wolves, RRQ, Havoc, PXX, Edward Gaming, and Kakoi as your top 9. So again, still a lot of Apex to be played. Again, we got 2 more games left in this lobby. 2 more games on Olympus ahead, for sure. Finals lobby should just be Olympus and Broken Moon. The last team to not rage quit. Okay, now we're just... You're trying too much, Phantom. Trying way too much. Let's calm down. Let's all calm down with the map choice there, Buck. Relax. Again, we got 2 games left here. Again, this is groups A versus B. So the last time we'll see these 2 groups face off. Again, tomorrow for Apac South will be A versus C. They'll be at the same time tomorrow. Again, I will not be live because I do have a wedding that I will be at. Hopefully Battlegrounds will be back though and streaming tomorrow. But again, last time for A versus B to be playing each other here. And again, match day 7 of 9 for the regular season portion of the split, within regional finals to follow. So again, we got this weekend where all of our teams, or every region, will have 2 match days. We then have next weekend where it'll just be 1 match day, the final match day for the regular season portion. And then we'll have regional finals the weekend after that. So it feels like we obviously had that break, which kind of dragged things out, but we got a pretty quick ending to split 1 to Pro League here coming up in just these next few weeks. 4 regional finals. I plan on being live for every single regional final leading up to the Americas region. I don't know if I'll do a 24-hour or not for that. Probably not, just based on the times. But I do plan on being live for every single regional final. Like I'm live here on my channel on Twitch and on YouTube as well. So definitely make sure you guys are tuning in for regional finals, because it's going to be an absolute banger here in the next couple weeks. And again, after, June 5th, June 6th, and June 7th, when regional finals take place, we will know our teams for EWC. That takes place in about a month and a half. Like, we have quickly approached up to EWC as well. So, again, a lot of great Apex in front of us here with the last few match days of the split, then regional finals, and then gearing up for our first LAN of the year for year 6. So definitely very excited. And again, for EWC as well, I will be live every single day watching that, streaming that, watch partying. Going to be a great time for EWC, watching all the games take place. And the nice thing about it being in France is that the hours will line up just a little bit better. So it'll still be early. It's going to suck a little bit, but it won't be as bad as having to watch the hours in Saudi. So things will be a little bit better. And obviously, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are tuning in to the Apex, the podcast, where we got you covered on all things comp Apex, from recaps to going over voicemails to the big headlines that are going on in Apex right now. Got some great stuff for you guys to check out. So going to be an absolute banger for sure these next few weeks. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Yeah, we got game number 5 here. Looks like getting ready to load up and be ready to go. And here we go. Game 5. And 2 games left here on Olympus for these teams here for match day number 7. Again, teams like Gen G looking for a bounce back here. You're going to absolutely need it. Again, where they're sitting at in the series standings right now, sitting in 11th. I know though we're all sitting at 10th. That will not get it done. So Gen G definitely needing a big improvement here moving forward.
ครับ
We'll see zone pop
เกื
here.
อบแล้วเหมือนกันนะเดี๋ยวเมื่อสักครู่ครับต้องบอกว่าวันนี้
Again, without the map view be a little bit harder to see,
แต่
but
ว่าจังหวะวัดกันแบบ one on one นะครับ
Phantom, you gotta stop with this whole KC propaganda, man. I can't do it. Absolutely cannot do it. We cannot have KC involved whatsoever.
มาดูหน่อยดีกว่าครับวงรอบนี้
And we see here we've got the zone pulling over to a rift in power grid zone. So again, a lot of times these will pull over to the power grid side, but a very good chance it could still stay on the rift side. So you'll see where Titan Esports Club is trying to play to the back side on that most northern side. Definitely a spot to play for, but it looks like Grape Soda does beat them to this particular point. So we'll see if any teams decide to go try to play for the back building, which it looks like Grape Soda is. So this is a pretty good spot to play because it gives you options to go to either side between Power Grid or to Rift. So definitely keep an eye on Grape Soda here as things go on because again, they should be in a pretty good spot. Yeah, rift zones definitely happen quite a bit. You are not wrong. And Team Orchid, once again, our first team out of the lobby. And now we see Metro getting full killed by Fist 6. So that is a member of Grape Soda going down early.
แล้ววันนี้จิบบี้อ่ะยังไม่โดนแบนครับตัวใหม่ก็ยังเล่นได้นะเอ็กเซลแต่เขาเตอร์จิบบี้ได้ดีด้วยครับเอาคิวไปเปิดใส่ทางด้านตัวของโซโย่ครับมาแล้ว
Yeah, you feeling Broken Moon future? I will say it does seem better with the updates. I will say that. We'll have to see what happens when it comes to We'll have to see what happens when it comes to ALGS once it eventually comes back. Orchid dying so everyone has a chance to score points. My Thai goats. Alright. Alright. Don't quite think that's what's in their minds, but you know what? I'll let you think that. You take that one and run with it, Phantom.
ตรงนี้ต้องรับยุไปก่อนครับแล้วเป็นโบเกมมิ่งกำลังจะใส่หนักครับได้น็อกไปนะเวโบเกมมิ่งนี่อีกครั้งหนึ่งครับคิวไปเปิดมาได้เหมือนกันครับ
Yeah, and for the ban as well, Newcastle was the ban for game number 4. So we'll see, obviously, probably some Watson and Gibby combinations. So definitely keep that in mind. You know, again, probably see some Wraith, some Axel, things like that. So you see Inside losing. How did I remember there? Looks like ARAM with the kill. So I feel pretty good about that. Broken Moon get more changes besides removing zips. I haven't played it yet. I mean, that's definitely the big thing to like notice. Did they change anything else? I want to say that's really the only changes they made to Broken Moon. I can't think of anything else. Obviously, somebody can correct me on that, but I want to say that's basically it. Because I really can't think of anything else top of my head at the moment for Broken Moon.
Q เดิมเลยครับที่เกี่ยวมาได้เมื่อสักครู่นะผมนี่ ก็ไม่พีคครับ
I did find it funny that they removed the zip lines to try to help pace things better, and then they brought in Axel, which literally does the exact opposite. That part was funny to read, I must say. Oh yeah, they added a choke. They added a choke. Was it between like stasis array and? Oh, why am I blanking on the POIs right now? Yeah, they added a choke. And like more in the middle of the map. Which helps you get, again, I think it's between stasis array and whatever that top POI is. I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh my god, what is the fucking name of that POI? I literally see it like in my head. I think you're right. I think it is Alpha.
Inside the ring เองก็ได้คนกลับมาเรียบร้อยแล้วนะครับวงเองก็ขยับมาเรื่อยๆนะตอนนี้ด้านนอกมีเจนจีครับ RQ ที่อยู่ขอบบนทางด้านตัวของทูซิมที่กำลังอยู่ขอบเดอะริฟไม่ได้เข้าแล้วก็ Inside the ring อะมาครับไททัน
Hold.
เวนิโน่ครับ
Yeah, so taking a look, it's this right here. They added this choke in, which allowed you to be able to traverse this between these two POIs. Yeah, north of Stasis Array, so again, headed into here, and then west of Terraformer. So it would be over here. Wait, I didn't know this was here. I actually did not know this was an option. Holy stupid. Yeah, I'm going to have to remember that for next time.
ชาร์ลเฟิลไปเก็บตรงคาสะมาครับแล้วโกสเองพอรู้ว่าเขาเคลียร์เสาปุ๊บหันมาเช็คเลยครับตรงนี้ระแวงจัดครับแล้วเคลียร์ทิ้งยาวแบบนี้ยังไงดีฮะกดทางด้านตัวของแอมมาก่อนครับระเบิด
Yeah, both those strokes are definitely very warranted for sure. So, definitely glad they added those. Just getting in here. How's SAU Well doing today? Pretty solid. They got off to a good start by winning game 1. But they kind of like haven't maybe fallen up the best after that. But they still sit 5th place overall right now. Again, they had 21 points in their first game, only 31 overall now after 4 games. But again, if you look at like the overalls, it would put up like in 1st place overall right now in all of Pro League. So overall, looking pretty good. The stuttering, I just don't understand. So weird. Nope. Asia with a charge rifle. Never would have guessed. And here comes the end. Oh my god, he double Axel ulted him, bro. A 1v1. Huge 1v1 here. Gen G absolutely needs this fight. Oh my god, the nades. How many nades this guy have? And I mean, Zicky's always going to clutch those. I mean, my goodness. Zicky's always clutching those. Yeah, huge fight there for Gen G. Much needed.
ขอบไปก่อนนะมากลับครับ
Yeah, I really do enjoy SAUL and their gameplay. I had picked them as like my dark horse at champs last year, and when they got that top 5, I felt very vindicated with that pick. Because I do really enjoy how they play, and I think in the right situation they can definitely win a LAN. Again, it won't be as like maybe easy as maybe like a Falcons or somebody like that. Which even Falcons right now kind of has their struggles right now a little bit with this meta. But I will be interested to see how this stuff plays out on LAN when we maybe don't have some of our other like aggressive like tier 2 teams in the lobby. And see if teams still decide to play that overly aggressive. Because LAN definitely changes things. Because once big money is involved, people do be switching up.
ได้เปิดแต่ว่าเขาหลบมุมก่อนครับ3ทีมครับที่หายไป Let's go ฮะเซจเองก็เล่นช้าชัวร์เลยนะออกมาเช็คคนหรือเปล่าครับเจสโก้
What is Chesko doing?
มาตามเพื่อนครับ
Hello? What is he doing? Is he trying to get that Evo?
ใช้บินฟรีครับ
I think he was trying to go grab that Evo. I just knew there'd be too much damage. It's actually a crazy decision to try to go do that.
มาที่เวโวเกมมิ่งครับ
Yeah, you're not wrong, Phantom. You are not wrong.
ยังไงดีนะตรงนี้มีทักทายดาเมจกันไปกันแล้วหันหลังมาจะมาเช็คเหรอครับโบลินแล้วด้านบนมีคนครับเปิดพอร์ตมา
Yeah, I agree. It's really nice to have Sharky in there.
ไปสุดเลยนะเพราะฉะนั้นยังไงก็ต้องเดินครับตรงนี้เล่นไม่ได้ครับเราไปแย่งพื้นที่กันมาแล้วลูดหลังฟรีๆได้ดาเมจเจ็บไปแล้วแบบนี้ก็คอนเฟิร์มคิวเลยหรือเปล่าก็แล้วจะพังทันโดนจี้จุ่ม
Big fight here for Weibo. See VK getting involved as well in a different fight.
พังเกมบุกเราเองหรือเปล่าก็แล้วมาเรียบร้อยครับโอ้โหเป็นออโต้บอท
IGL for SAUL is Legacy. Legacy IGLs for them.
ทีมที่ขยับเข้ามาเล่นกับพวกเขาอีกหนึ่งนะมากลับมาครับกำพอร์ตกระโดดเล่นมาก่อนครับทริซี่แดมแปะพอร์ตไว้ตรงนี้ยังไงดีอะพยายามจะโถมของใส่
Now I see RQ. Looks like they're going down the kill feed.
เนตจอยแล้วโดนลงแหล่งมีโดมมาความก็ดีครับเข้าไม่ได้แล้วตรงนี้กำลังจะผลักเข้าไปครับสไลด์คิงไปส่งสไตล์เฟรมมาครับ RQ โดนเปิดมาเหมือนกันแต่ว่าไม่น่ามีปัญหาอะไรเขาเวียงใส่เพื่อนเซกโตได้ไหมตรงนี้ลูกสวนมาอยู่แต่ว่าโดนคืนไปเหมือนกันแล้วล้มไป2เหลือคิวเต็ดคนเดียวคิวเต็ดพุ่งหลบมาก่อนครับยังไงดีตรงนี้จะซ้ำเอาแต้มได้ไหมโดมอีก1วิโดนหลังกดมาแล้วโดน
He has to climb up behind him and down he goes.
ช็อตแต่อย่างใดมาขับหายไปก่อนออโต้บอทเหลือคนเดียวกันไปซิงไปส่งลาซี่มา
Autobot Esports gets the fight win, but down to just a solo here. And down he goes. Fifth, six picking up a bunch of kills in the kill feed as well here.
ตรงนี้ต้องชูเพื่อนกลับมาก่อนครับด้านในจ่ายโดมไปอีก1ครั้งครับโอ้ละเทคครับ
Down to 13 squads left here.
แต่ว่าไม่ดีเท่าไหร่ครับมุมอันตรายเกินไปกิมโลไปได้มาคาโคอี้โดนมายาวๆครับแล้วตรงนี้กดมาก่อนแต่ว่ายังไม่ได้โดนหลังเข้ามาหรือเปล่า
We do see this eventually pulled over to what appears to be the Rift side. So definitely be teams needing to rotate over. VK Gaming going down here before 10th place. Gen G trying to find a way to live here. Oh my god, and now Asia clutches up with some big KP here. They do eventually go down to 5th, 6th though. Keith's just cleaning up these fights, man. 5th, 6th with some really good timing on their third parties right now.
ตรงนี้ได้ไฮกาก็จริงแต่ว่าวงถัดไปเล่นไม่ได้แล้วก็นัดถอยหลังมา5วินาทีต้องเตรียมตัวเดินครับโค้ชเองก็เหมือนกันนะเอา ครับจังหวะมูฟจังหวะเดินครับมีคนขยับไปก่อนนะแบบนี้โดนรุมยิงฟรีหรือเปล่าครับแล้วหลังมาแจมอีกหนึ่งนะต้องระวังเอ็ดเวิร์ดเกมมิ่งโยกแกนมาแล้ววิ่งซิ่งมายิง
Oh my God, he is just
กระโดดผ่าน
absolutely
มาตรงนี้ได้
sending
แต่
this
ว่าโดนเทรนไปเหมือนกันครับเพื่อนต้องตามมาช่วยได้ไหม
onto SAUL as well.
ตั้งป้อมแล้วยิงแอมมาตรงนี้ยังไงทะลุแอมแตกแต่ว่าโดนพีคใส่นะโดนลูกซองก็เลกาซี่
I mean, that'll piss you off if you're SAUL, because what on earth is that solo push essentially by EDG?
ได้มาหนึ่งก่อนแล้วจะซ้ำแต่เขาไม่ให้แล้วเปิดตัวแบบนี้เปิดตัวเปิดใจค่อยๆชุบขึ้นมาครับเมียตเมจ่ายลงมาเอ็ดเวิร์ดเองน็อกอยู่หนึ่งชิมโรดิมบัสโอ้โหแล้วดูว่ายิงยับครับยังไงฮะยิงมา
Fizz 6 dying on the rotate in. We see RQ going down as well.
ยังไม่ชุบด้วยครับแล้วเขากระโดดมายัดมาตรงนี้ได้หรือเปล่า
Edward Gaming now getting swung.
ยังรอดอยู่แล้วจะสวนครับแต่ว่า
This is by Havoc.
มีเคนที่เลือดเกาะเต็มเรียบ
And down goes Edward Gaming. Abram dead as well. Down to just one member for Havoc. They go down. Down to our top 4 situation here.
ของกันอยู่ครับตอนนี้4ทีมมีโกสครับอินไซเดอร์ริงที่เกาะท็อป 5 มารอบแรกเหมือนกันครับตูซิมโอ้โหแล้วทีม
SAUL is a solo going down here as well.
ต้องมีวัดใจเลยครับถ้าได้เกมนี้
So we got 2C1M as the duo.
ครับตูซิม2 คนครับมีโอกาสจะได้ชุบหรือเปล่าฮะ
We've got Goat.
มาโกสแล้วก็อินไซเดอร์ริงครับ
We got inside.
จะขยับ
3v1 here.
แล้วครับ
Interesting third person here.
มาไฟวงสุด
Here we
ท้าย
go.
ครับสำหรับเกมที่ 5 ของเราครับของต้องเตรียมให้พร้อมครับมีไฟลง
Again, another unlimited ammo L-Star.
โดมมาไว้ก่อน
Definitely not broken. Definitely not broken having an infinite ammo on a care package weapon.
มาแล้วจะมาเคลียร์เส้นครับ
Definitely not broken at all, guys.
เข้ามาไฟกันแต่ว่ากำลังแย่หรือเปล่าแล้วเรียบร้อยได้ไวๆไปก่อนเหลือคนเดียวตรงนี้จะปิดได้ไหมแล้วลูซิมโดนปิดไป
2C1M, which was a duo going down, so that just leaves inside versus Goat.
ว่าจะทำอย่างไรกันอัลติเมทจ่ายมาต้องเคลียร์ทั้งนั้นตกไพลอนทิ้งก่อนแล้วเคลียร์ได้ด้วยครับเอามาดูกันครับแต่ว่ายังมีไพลอนสำรองอยู่นะโอ้โหมาดูครับโพสกับทางด้านตัวของอินไซเดอร์ริงครับแล้วเลือดที่จะโดมมา
Comes a
เปิด
swing
ก่
from
อน
Goat here.
มาจ่ายอาร์คไปจ่ายเนตไปโดมเหมือนกันครับแล้วขึ้นมาเคลียร์ได้ไหมพีคมา
And the swings come in. Oh my God, the nade just launches him up in the air.
แบบนี้ได้ไปด้วยโอ้แล้วได้ไป1
Oh my God.
กำลังไหลแล้วยังไงอะได้
1v1
แล้วเหลือ1 on 1 PK 1 ปั๊มเจ็บ2
Oh my God, and Goat. Another 1v1 Wraith
เล่นก่อนและไม่พลาดด้วย
at the end here, and we see Goat taking the dub here in game number 5. So taking a look at our stats here for our 5th game. Once they load up here,
เด้งขึ้นไปด้านบนก็ชิงครับสำหรับไซด์ลิงและแบบนี้จบครับรอเกมสุดท้ายเกมที่ 6 ของเราฮะ
we see Goat taking first place with 20. We've got Inside in second with 13. 2C1M in third with 9. SAUL in fourth with 9. Havoc in 5th with 10. And then also Edward Gaming there in 6th with 12. Those were your big ones for this particular match. And then taking a look at the series results right now, we've got Orchid against purely off of their E-District games. Still sit first overall with 53 points. Edward Gaming now in second with 46. Havoc in third with 44. And then SAUL in fourth with 40. RRQ in fifth with 35. Fizz sixth and ARAM both with 33. VK Gaming with 31. 2C1M with 28. And then Kakoi and Genji both with 27. If we take a look at then of our overall standings for Pro League, if things were to end the way they are, SAUL again still holding on to first place. Orchid would now be in second. We've had VK Gaming here in third. Wolves Esports in fourth. Havoc in fifth. RRQ in sixth. PXX in seventh. Edward Gaming in eighth. And Genji there in ninth. The meta legend gun differences between regions so cool. You never see anyone in NA pick up PK right now. Yeah, really, unless it's like Gibby with a shotgun, which usually it's like Monsoon and those boys like that. Yeah, you definitely don't see PK much at all, just because of how controller dominant APAC, or not sorry APAC, the Americas region is. But yeah, you definitely don't get a lot of PK unless it's maybe like the Gibby game, where you get a Gibby Newcastle type thing. So yeah, the gun variety is definitely very interesting to see. I know like Nemesis is definitely much more played over in the APAC regions. Alternator as well is a gun that a lot of the APAC North, I think, likes to use, if I remember correctly. So yeah, definitely some differences for sure. And then obviously with like the characters, again, I always talk about how like Alter is just like never banned over here in the APAC regions for whatever reason. We obviously saw an early Valk ban now as well, which was game 3 here for APAC South. So we'll have to see if the same thing happens for APAC North. But yeah, definitely some very stark differences, that is for sure, when it comes to the two. Yeah, here just shortly we'll start our last game of the night here. Game number 6 on Olympus. Again, leading overall right now is the boys over at Team Orchid, but a lot of chasers right behind them that could definitely steal first place. We're going to see a Gibby ban here as well, so Gibby Newcastle is now gone. So I would not be surprised, especially in this Game 6, to see some very aggressive comps come out. Potentially some Conduit, seeing some Seer. Watson obviously still a decent choice. Caustic could be a choice for teams, but definitely expect some very aggressive comp picks here moving forward. APAC North's obsessed with the alternator. It's awesome. Yeah, it is definitely nice to see some variety for sure. Especially for me, I also see a lot of like the Americas region as like an American viewer. But yeah, so it's just nice to kind of branch out and see some different stuff. It's definitely made like the podcast and the research and everything I do. It's definitely made me very appreciative of like being able to watch these other regions and kind of get like a more full scale look of how lands might look like. Just because again, you just kind of get to see these teams play a lot more often than just at LAN, so you kind of see some tendencies some teams have. Potentially what bands might clash or what guns might clash. So it's definitely interesting for sure to see how this stuff plays out. The points, for the alternator when they raise the points, yeah. I mean, I definitely think there's some other pain points, super, that I thought they definitely could have touched on before nerfing the alternator. In terms of the points, but they just probably felt that it was too easily obtained and they wanted to tone it down, I guess. So that's that's the only thing I could think of.
เกมท้ายก็น่าจะใกล้เริ่มเต็มที่แล้วนะยังไงก็เนี่ยครับรอสักครู่เดี๋ยวเกม6เริ่มแล้วเดี๋ยวเรามาเจอกันในเกมที่6ครับคุณผู้ชมครับ
Yeah, we should be starting up here shortly for our game number 6. Again, thank you for everybody that has been in either the Twitch or the YouTube. Again, I felt bad because I felt like Split 1's definitely been pretty inconsistent on my part when it comes to the streams. But again, just appreciate you guys being here, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. And again, make sure you guys are checking out the Apex podcast on anywhere you find your podcasts with Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or check us out on the YouTube as well. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Completely free over on YouTube for the Apex pod. So make sure you guys are doing that, where you guys can be fully caught up on all things Apex, competitive when it comes to roster moves, when it comes to the big news in the scene. We will get you covered with it. Myself, with Wyatt, with Jumba. We've got you covered for everything. We should be loading up here any second into our final game here. In the last game here on Olympus. It looks like we're getting ready to drop in here now. So again, game number 6, the last time we'll see these two groups play against each other for Apac South. Groups A versus B. The last time these teams will see each other in this particular format for the regular season. Now, obviously, it's big for Group A because they will have only one more match day tomorrow. And then their regular season will be done. So the teams that are in Group A definitely needing to have a big weekend to really cement their push, to push themselves into regional finals, push themselves into those qualifying spots for EWC. So a very big game here. You definitely don't want to let any of these games go without fail. Glad to hear you enjoy the pod, Super. Yeah, I'll be honest, I was a little worried with that one just because of kind of how like it got, we kind of just threw that one together just because with Wyatt being out of town and then like I'm honestly out of town tomorrow. Especially if like for Wyatt is like the main host, the main guy that usually edits and stuff like that. It was definitely tough to find a time because he's like with his family going to a different wedding down in Tennessee. So big shout out to him for being able to record in the hotel room. Big shout out to Jumba for editing and getting that done and put out today. So yeah, definitely a huge shout out to those guys. So really happy for that. Yeah, Storm, I agree. Gen G is in a very interesting spot when it comes to qualifying for LAN. That is one that they will definitely want to make sure they push themselves up further to the leaderboard. That is for sure. Aku, thank you very much for the follow. Hopefully you're doing well. Appreciate you hopping into the stream. Hope you're having an amazing day. Yo, Alexis, how we doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I see all your comments on the YouTube side when it comes to when we post the pod, so it's very much appreciated you being engaged. I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. And here comes some of these early fights that we did expect. We do see two teams already going down early. I believe that was Titan Esports Club and Mama Clubs, both going out within a minute of this game starting. So, shout out to those two guys. So, Storm, Aku just followed, which I don't think it's that Aku. If it is, though, that'd be sick. But I don't think it is. มีสะดุดแน่นอนครับแบบนี้สำหรับตัว VK Gaming ครับแล้วท็อป5เนี่ยตอนนี้เขาอยู่อันดับ4อ่ะ Yeah, Gen G Alexis definitely needs to pick up the pace. That is for sure. They definitely need to get back to their match winning days if they want to feel better about qualifying for LAN. I appreciate that, Alexis. Thank you very much. Really glad you enjoy the content. We definitely doing our best. That is for sure. Yeah, definitely still a lot of stuff we're hoping to do moving forward, but yeah, we definitely feel like the pods have been going well lately. So had some really good interviews. If you guys will go check out some of the interviews we've had Gaskin recently, we've had Glitter Explosion recently. Had some really good stuff with some great people recently, so make sure you guys go checking those out.
แต่ยังนิ่งนอนใจไม่ได้นะมาที่ RQ ครับอยู่ที่ทางด้านตัวของบอนไซอะแมปนี้โดนเขาเรียกว่า remove trident หรือว่าลดในการโรเทตออกไปแล้วนะครับทำให้ถ้าจะเล่นก็ต้องเดินครับแล้วคาโกอี้ไปเปิดมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งครับโอ้โหวันนี้ยิงออนไฟจัดครับ
Now we're down to 16 squads here. Oh my goodness, the nades coming in. Plus the breach charge.
ไม่น่าปล่อยไม่น่าจะปล่อยครับแล้วเข้ามาวอยหลบแต่ว่า
Koi looking to get aggressive to pick up some KP, which they do. And Goat is eliminated early here. So yeah, definitely seeing these teams coming out to fight here with these more kill comp type comps. I mean, Fizz 6 down to just one member here. You see it's Grape Soda here. 2v1. If they can get inside this room. And down go Fizz 6. So again, a lot of action here early on. Again, the conduit coming out here for Grape Soda, like I thought some teams might try. We do have Kakoi running a double controller comp, which will be interesting to see if they can hold out for quite a while with the Rampart and the Watson. It does look like we're getting a zone here that is going to be pulling potentially back to Somers. It could still be the zone that pulls the other side of the big wall here to that area just outside of Grow Towers. But at least for now, they're sitting pretty good. Gascon was awesome. Love my Halo Apex casters. I can't say enough how happy on that Bravo's back casting. Incredibly talented, especially as a duo with Onset. Yeah, I didn't know like 100% of who Bravo was when I did some looking up and things like that. I was able to realize like, oh, like he is one of like kind of the OGs that had casted some of the earlier stuff with Apex. Then obviously I saw like he's worked with Onset and stuff before. So it was pretty sick to see somebody of his stature get added in to the casting talent that we've got, because obviously we've already got some great talent already, but it's really cool to see him added in. And Bravo too, like he was liking a lot of the stuff with the pod, a lot of tweets and stuff he'd been putting out, and he had followed the account and stuff before, so it was cool to see him jumping in. I did not get a chance to watch that tournament. I was actually out of town. I've been kind of out of town trying to like golf and stuff a lot recently. So yeah, I really wasn't tuned into Apex as much these past couple of weeks. But yeah, it definitely was. It was cool to see VK get the dub. It was cool to see a pretty crazy match point. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Bravo's dope. Yeah, I saw he had some pretty big Halo background for sure. Have I ever played Apex professionally? Hell no, Storm. Storm, I started playing Apex Season 5, and I actually am not a huge gamer. I came from much more of like a sports background, and the way I got into Apex was my buddy introduced me to Apex during Season 5, and then I got introduced to Comp Apex during like Year 2, but then I started really getting into like deep diving competitive Apex in Year 3, and then LA, so split 1 Year 4, I ended up actually going out to that LAN in person, which is where I met Wyatt and like Jayhawk and Jumba and a bunch of people, and that's where kind of I got into like the podcast stuff. So I've never played professionally, nor will I ever be close to be playing professionally, because I'm just not that great at games. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm smart, but I just don't have the gun skill by any means. So, which is fine, because you give me a basketball court, volleyball court, I'll absolutely dunk on some people. Not actually dunk, but I'm just better than a lot of people. So.
โอ้ยแล้วเจอดักขอบ
Gas and
นี้
glitter
จะ
were
ไม่
cool,
ได้เล่น
provided
เอา
interesting
เลยครับ
insight. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
เมโทร
I really enjoyed those
31
interviews. It was a lot of fun to get a chance to talk to them
ไม่ขยับ
both.
แล้วดูเลือดออคิดครับจะไม่พอฮะมีสปีดบูสต์อยู่ก็จริงครับแต่ว่าจะได้ใช้หรือเปล่าครับตรงนี้ไป
Yeah, I've definitely heard of a lot of good things with what they did with Halo. So yeah, I'm really excited too, Super, to see what they can do with
ตรง
Apex.
นี้ยังเหลืออีก1ชาร์จโอ้โหแล้วอ้อม
The
ไป
secret
จัด
third
ครับ
for Falcons.
เข้า
He's
ไป
being
ไม่รู้จะ
humble.
ได้เล่นไหมด้วยหรือเปล่าอีกต่างหากครับเข้ามาที่บ้าน
Imagine.
แปะไว้ก่อนในบ้านมีแบร์คอน
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no way.
ช้าแกนแท็กมายังไงเนี่ยเฮกตรงนี้ต้องกลับไปกรุ๊ปอัพกับเพื่อนดีกว่าครับไม่ปลอดภัย
I remember I think we ran into Zap one time in a rank game, which like by the way I was like Diamond, he was obviously Pred, and yeah he just like ran our shit. So I'm good on that. I'm good on any of that. Yeah, Storm. I definitely come from like a very analytical background because I coached baseball for 10 years at the collegiate club level. So I just kind of a natural like inkling to want to like do research and kind of understand like why teams do what they do, and then like try to like communicate that to other people. Kind of just came in the form of the podcast when Wyatt asked me to be on. So that was all definitely a very interesting experience for me to learn all that. But honestly, it's opened up a ton of really fun doors. I mean, even just being involved with like EA Sports now and being on like the LGS broadcast and stuff, it's been sick. So definitely had a lot of fun with that. And hopefully more to come. Hopefully a lot more to come. Again, excited to go out to Vegas if anybody's going to Vegas. Hopefully it'll be in Japan. Again, that's still pretty TBD, but I know for sure I'll be in Vegas. So hopefully if some of you guys are going to Vegas, that we'll be able to meet some of you guys in person.
ใกล้ๆเป็นนะตรงเวเนโน่ครับโดนแท็กมายูเตอร์ไปได้โลคีมาครับเกรฟโซดานี่ฮะเกรฟโซดายังไงขอบวงตรงนี้โดนปาดมาเรียบร้อยฮะเป็นทางด้านของออคิดครับ
Yeah, Phantom. I'm still cutting down pretty heavy on the beer. So I would just recommend saving your points for now. I appreciate you asking. I'm down 35 pounds from the end of like last year to now, so I'm trying to stick to that so I can lose about another 25 or 30. Might be the baseball commentators. Honestly, Storm, that is one of the like nicest things I've heard anybody say. Like I said, I never knew I had a knack for this, but people have seemed to like what I have to say and think I do pretty good with the podcast. So I definitely am very humbled by that and really appreciate the kind words, because that really means a lot. Because I definitely question sometimes if I sound smart enough to be able to talk about the stuff that we do. So it's really nice to hear stuff like that. So I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, Fanta, we've been grinding, man. Jayhawk's been grinding. I know Jumpa's been grinding. Losing the weight as well. So all the boys are trying to look our very best when it comes to Vegas and seeing a lot of people in person. So we are ready to be looking real good when it comes to Vegas.
ปิดแชมป์ได้ด้วยนี่คือได้แน่นอนการันตีครับตรงนี้กำลังโดนกดเข้ามาด้านในครับพี่วิฟูยังปั๊มไม่เสร็จกันด้านนอกมีรับแขกเหมือนกันครับที่ก่อแตกไปครับสำหรับเจสโก้ยังไงดีครับทางด้านนอกทาง
As we see, we're locking in for the last part of this game. We're down to our 11 squads here. Ring 4 closing. We got Genji going down again pretty early. So that'll end their day here. Havoc still up here late in this end game, running this Wraith Rampart Watson comp, which again, pretty insane to say the least. But it seems to be working for some of our teams right now. Edward Gaming going down, that ends their day here. I appreciate that, Phantom. Thank you.
มีโอกาส
I'm glad I'm helping out in that category. And here comes Bear Claw Gaming, a team I talked about earlier that need a big day, but that feels like a pretty unnecessary death there. I'm not sure if they'll get thirded or not. Think they'll be able to get this res off in time?
แค่นิดเดียวเท่านั้นถ้าติดท็อป 5 มีโอกาสจะแซงด้วยฮะ
Yeah, super on vacation. That'll definitely happen, but I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, the grind continues. I'll be grinding for the next few months for sure.
ยังไงดีโดนเอิร์ธมาครับแล้วมาเกียร์ทิ้งไปก่อนยิงกดคืนมายังไงไม่ดูแลเจสโก้ครับเจอกับทางตรง RQ ด้วยครับชายฮาวอกไม่รอดแล้ว
RQ trying to get this res off here. That's gonna be the last of RQ today. Again, Bear Claw Gaming needing a big day here. Can they clutch up this last game?
ก็รอยื้อเวลาครับต้องดูว่าจะไปที่ไหนสำหรับนิวคู6 ทีมสุดท้าย SAUL ก็ยังอยู่นะครับแล้วมีโอกาสด้วยครับแต่ว่าต้องแชมป์เอาชัวร์ครับโอ้แล้วดูโซนพื้นที่ครับ
Yeah, I agree, Storm. I really thought Genji be looking better too. Some really good shots here by SAUL in a really good position to potentially win this game here. Also running the Wraith, Rampart, and Watson comp. So again, pretty popular picks here over in Apac South. Again, Alter not being very highly picked. Same with Axel. No Axel ban. มีแปะพอร์ตมาไว้แล้วกำลังโดนยิงหลังแต่ว่าต้องโดดกลับไปก่อนครับตรงนี้ Oh, he gets climbed up on. And that is Bear Claw Gaming getting the climb up and now taking this God Rock here. และไปต่อยังไงมีโรเกเด้งมาแล้วสปีดบูสต์มาตรงนี้เรียบร้อยได้พี่ Here comes the push in. Inside the ring จบไปแล้วด้วยกันเลย Just leaving one member left and down goes SAUL. กำลังจะรันอิทแบ็กหรือเปล่าครับ Down goes the solo of ARAM, so should be Bear Claw Gaming against 2C1M here. เจอกับทางด้านตรง Bear Claw Gaming โอ้โหแล้วเป็นศึกวัดใจครับถ้า Bear Claw ปิดได้มีลุ้นถึงอันดับที่1ครับ Oh, it's awesome, Phantom. I love that. ยังไงดีตรงนี้ I'm glad you can kind of have that secondary benefit from that. So that's so cool. เฮดกิดมากดมุมมาก่อนแล้วอาร์คสตาร์ทแกเนตมาต้องเคลียร์ทิ้งก่อนเคลียร์ได้ด้วยครับสั่งเพื่อนบุกทันทีครับเดินมา Here we go, the last fight here. A big first knock, and that should just be a dub here for Bear Claw Gaming. Down to just one. 3v1 here, not much they can do, and Bear Claw Gaming with the dub to close out our day here. Taking a look then at the final series results, as long as they have come through. We've got, looks like not quite updated yet. Let's try that again. Still not quite updated for Bear Claw here. We'll give it just a second. See if we can finally get the full points. There we go. And for game number 6, Bear Claw Gaming with a 29-point banger. 2C1M in second with 14, ARAM in third with 12, SAUL in fourth with 10, Inside in fifth with 6, and then Kokoi with a big game there with 13. Those are your big games for game number 6. Taking a look at the series results overall, Orchid somehow, some way, basically getting 0 points from any games in or on Olympus, takes the match day win. Bear Claw Gaming, by virtue of that last game, takes second with 53. SAUL there in third. Edward Gaming in fourth. Havoc in fifth. ARAM in sixth. TC1M in seventh. Kokoi in eighth. RRQ dropping down to ninth. Fizz 6 Gaming in 10th. VK in 11th. Genji in 12th. Those are your big ones there. Our BCG also 3M and K. They look like insane work. I think so. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Tripped and fell with a finish line. Yeah, seriously, Orchid. I mean, hey, you'll take it if you're Orchid, though. You got the dub. So taking a look then at the overall standings for Pro League through Matchday 7. Again, our Group C has not played their 5th Matchday yet, so they are one behind here. But your top 9 teams as it stands, which again would be locked in for EWC if they hold like this. SAUL taking first place, sitting there with 90, feeling pretty good about where they're at. Again, barring some disastrous thing happening, they should basically be qualified at this point for EWC. You have Orchid there in second with 74, Wolves in third with 73, VK Gaming and PXX both with 70, Havoc with 68, RRQ with 66, Kakoi with 63, and Edward Gaming with 62. That would be your top 9. Gen.G, as of right now, and also on their 5th match day, sit 1 point outside of what would be qualifying for LAN. But again, remember, VK Gaming auto-qualifies, so you basically remove them from the equation, and then whatever regional final winner also auto-qualifies. So if you want to be safe, you need to get up to basically that 7th place to feel really good about where you're at. So keep an eye on this, though, as things progress. Again, we'll see one more match day tomorrow for Group A, and then we'll see the 5th match day for Group C. And that is our second to last match day as well for this Pro League. So be sure you're tuned in, be caught up. This is a huge weekend for all of our teams moving forward for this split 1 of Pro League in year 6. So again, top 20 will make regional final, so also keep an eye on how things look down here. And again, top 9 will be the teams that are qualifying for EWC. So keep an eye on that. Again, as always, if you can't watch the games, we'll catch you up. I know we haven't had some regional recaps here lately, but once Wyatt is back, we'll get back to some regional recaps to make sure you guys are included in all the regions, everything that's going on. And again, as always, make sure you guys are following the Apex Podcast, whether that's on Spotify, whether that's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your pods. Again, we just appreciate the support. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or just give us a thumbs up over there on the Spotify and leave a review, as that is the best way to help us out. I appreciate all of you guys for being here, though. I'm glad I could be a fill-in for Battleground. Hopefully they should be back tomorrow. I know those boys are pretty pissed about how things are going with some pack-in stuff, but the boys Stoney and your boy Q should be back tomorrow, so make sure you guys are checking them out. Again, from everybody from the YouTube side, I mean, we were over 110 people on the YouTube side at one point, which is absolutely incredible. The most outside of a LAN that we've had on a watch party. So I appreciate you guys for being here. And obviously the Twitch, the homies as well over on Twitch. I appreciate you guys on my personal channel. So I hope you all have an amazing night. Thank you once again for being here. Truly was a special stream. And yeah, just make sure you guys are keeping up this weekend with all your Apex action. And we'll catch you guys on the next one and on the next Apex the podcast. See you.